Why, hello there. I'm back. I am very much back. So, so Genshin just had a new update. I completely forgot about that. And, I am not sure if the next acts of Fontaine have come out. I really don't know. We're not, we're not gonna be playing any of the, well, if Fontaine does have some new acts, we're not gonna be playing any of them. Um, as the title and also the description may suggest, today we're going to be playing Lyney's Story Quest because I've been really wanting to play it. But yeah. Yeah. So let me just. Sorry if the wait was really long. I was busy, but I'm here. I'm here. So yeah, let me just one little thingy I kind of want to do with my little character, my little avatar. Oh, no, that's not what I want to do. Whoops. I can't help but feel like my avatar is just the slightest bit too big. Just a little bit. So, let me try to like little a little bit like that. I don't know. I felt like, I don't know, it was covering a lot of the chat box, so I'm just gonna make it a little smaller. I am planning to make my own little like theme, but so far the cat looks fine. Well, let's play some games, shall we? Let's go. Let's play some games. So, Infinite Void. Dang it! I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting about this part. So the only thing I know about Lyney's story quest is a scene where he gives the traveler a flower. And they explain that in Fontaine, giving people those flowers is a romantic gesture. So it's like Lyney basically shooting his shot, which I think is absolutely adorable. I think that's so cute. So cute. Because, like, people ship, like, the Traveler with, a lot of people ship the Traveler with, like, other characters, and I've never been really into them, mainly because, I mean, I know, like, the Traveler is their own character, but, like, they're still the player character. So to me, it always felt very, like, self-insert-y. It's not bad. I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just like I just personally never really got into those because I kind of like to distance myself from media. Uh, Lyney is like the only Genshin character so far that I can say with a certain level of I can say with a decent amount of certainty that this man has a crush on this man has a crush on you, and I find it adorable. Alright, so I was in Sumeru grinding for Nahida. Wait, actually, let me go to a statue first. Midwoof says, have you ever scrapped or cancelled any animatics? If you have, why? I have. Most of them were, like, really short animatics. You know, stuff that you'd find, like, little, like, animatics that were a few seconds long. And I never got around to them because I was too busy either, like, I was too busy either with school, drawing, like drawing a piece, or working on a bigger video. Mostly the school stuff, though. So, yeah, that's basically, yeah. Mostly because I got too busy, and it was one of those things that I don't even know why I walked in here. And it was one of those things that it was like, I want to continue this, but like I've been putting it off for so long that like the high of like, oh man, I want to make this thing kind of sort of like faded away. And so I didn't really have that same like need to make it. usually I have that need once I already, like, completed, or once I already, like, really got the ball rolling, like, really started working on it, because then my mind goes like, oh man, I want to see this finished. But when I, like, barely started it, then it's like, I don't have that same thing. I don't know. Okay, so, of course, we're gonna be having Lyney. Ah, look how adorable he is. I love him.
Oh, it's an honor to be here.
I love the goober. Literally, this was the entire reason why. I just wanted him on my team. All right, Fontaine. I'm taking too long. So wait, actually, I think we should know, like, we should know where exactly we need to go first. So story quests. There he is. What is it? Felis Fucus. I know Felis means cat. I don't know what Fuscus mean. Fuscus? I don't know what that means, but I know Felis means cat, because he's a cat boy. Oh, it's unlocked. Okay, time to play it. Okay, cool. So Fontaine doesn't have another one. Perfect. Let's go. Let's go here. Do you ever plan on doing any other songs from the Lorax soundtrack? Maybe like Thneedville original demo or Everybody Needs a Thneed? I am actually. I am planning on making, eventually, not now, but eventually make an animatic of This Is the Place tricky version. Because I think it's an extremely interesting song. Like, developing.
So long as the audience thinks that seeing
Lyney,
is
shut
believing,
up, not now.
There's no limit to the number of tricks I can pull off.
I think it's a very interesting song because it says
Just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability.
it says so much about what they were planning, and so much about whatever draft they were going for. And I honestly find it quite a shame that they cut it. Anyway. I love the Fontaine music so much. So pretty. So pretty. Like, I know I keep gushing about Fontaine's music. Fontaine's music is literally what I wanted. It's what I want out of Mondstadt's music. It's what I wanted. It's European sounding music, but like European music that sounds so like fresh and new and nostalgic. Meanwhile, not all of Mondstadt's music, but most of Mondstadt's music is like very generic fantasy. And I always assumed that it was because it was European, but it's like, no. So, yeah, that's why I keep gushing about Fontaine so much. It's literally what I wanted out of Mondstadt.
Hey, isn't that Charlotte?
Indeed it is. Hello, Charlotte.
We're always running into her.
Indeed we are.
What's she doing this time? Ooh, looks like street interviews.
Street interviews.
I see. So you believe that this warning letter was sent by the Phantom Weasel?
Is this gonna be like a little mystery thing as well? Oh, I would love that. If us and Lyney go on the little, like, detective job, that would be so adorable.
Absolutely. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Phantom Weasel never acts as you expect. He must have faked his own death 10 years ago using a body double.
Those were some awkward pauses there.
Now that he's back, I'm sure the guards who worked on his case back in the day are in for a headache, but however this turns out in the end, the one thing it won't be is boring.
Couldn't agree more. As a journalist, I'm gonna get a lot of mileage out of this one. Thank you, sir, for your time. Now, whom should I interview next? Huh? Hey! What a coincidence! Fancy meeting you here.
Sup?
Perfect timing. So, the Phantom Weasel's latest warning letter. What are your thoughts?
Phantom Weasel? Warning letter? Oh?
Yeah, this is the first time we're hearing of this one. Could you clue us in?
Huh? Oh, sorry. Yes, this case is from a decade ago. I guess you wouldn't know about it. Well, not to worry. You're in good hands because I'm a professional. The story goes like this. 10 or so years ago, a phantom thief became active in the court of Fontaine. Known only as the
Oh my
Weasel.
God.
Nobody knew his
I'd
true
thought.
identity, and the authorities never managed to catch him.
What if it's Lyney when he was like a kid? What if it's like we know that Lyney and Lynette were like street children before their like dramatic event happened. So, yeah, we know they were street children before, so like what if he was the weasel the whole time? And like because it happened like a decade ago, and so he stopped because he's like a successful like magician now.
Wow, cool! He sounds like one of those mysterious night burglars that you read about in novels.
Precisely. Well, except the part where they actually have a good reputation. Our weasel targeted whatever people held dear, and no one was safe from his predations. He would just as soon steal a necklace from a rich merchant's safe as he would a toy doll given to a commoner child for their birthday.
Sounds like an absolute weirdo.
I know. The phantom thieves you read about in novels rob the rich to pay the poor, but this guy did not discriminate. Unsurprisingly, this didn't work wonders for his public reputation. Every man and his dog wanted to see him behind bars.
Dang.
Yeesh. So, did they catch him?
Not exactly. There's a good chance that the weasel would still be at large to this day if it hadn't been for an accident 10 years ago. A magician named Caesar fell to his death in a botched high-altitude escape performance.
Okay.
When the police went through his personal effects, they found a hoard of stolen loot and gadgets used for criminal activities. And that was how the Phantom Weasel's identity was revealed to all.
Okay, okay.
Sure enough, thefts in Fontaine went down after Caesar's death. But today, 10 years on, the notorious thief has once again issued one of his warning letters and pasted it on the gate of the Opera Epiclese for all to see.
Okay, okay. Interesting. Oh! He's right there! He's right there! But he's right there. I just noticed him. He's right there. There's my boy. My little magic man.
I had to squeeze through the crowd this morning to get a photo as soon as I heard. Here, it's this one.
Okay, okay, so it's like a not a collage, it's that thing people do where they cut out letters from magazines and then paste it. Oh, come on.
So, this is the warning letter, huh? Let's see what he wrote. 3 days from now, when evening falls, I shall take from you that which you hold most dear at the Opera House, just as you did to me 10 years ago.
Okay.
This is, without a doubt, a clear declaration of criminal intent. After years of laying low, the Phantom Weasel is back with a vengeance. What once seemed like an open and shut case has been blown wide open again. But why has he reemerged now? And what does he want? I sense an epic scoop, and I'm going for it.
Uh-oh. If this thief will steal anything that other people value, does that mean even we might be targeted?
He might try to nab you, little Paimon.
Aww. But Paimon doesn't want to get kidnapped. Well, he'd have to go through you first. You would stop him, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, the people have spoken. It's clear that the public
doing
are
little
very
magic
concerned
tricks.
about the Phantom Weasel's reappearance. Let's see, I've got a photo of the letter,
There
my
he
interview
is.
notes. Yep, that should be enough to form the skeleton of my article. It does feel like something is missing, though.
Sorry, I was just skimming over the line again.
Something exclusive. Who should I interview next? I need someone with a more concrete connection to the weasel. Is that who I think it is?
Lyney!
Magician. Looks like he's performing some magic.
Magic. Magician. Caesar! The Phantom Weasel! That's it! Let's go interview Lyney! You see, the original Phantom Thief Caesar was a magician too. And what do phantom thieves and magicians have in common? They both have an air of mystery about them. Perhaps there's a connection there.
Are you serious? What sort of a deduction is that?
I am sensing that Lyney and Caesar is his name, I think, might have some, like, past to do with each other. Now, what it is, I'm not sure, but I'm sensing that. Just by, like, some other story quests. They usually do this kind of thing where they, like, introduce kind of like a separate character that has a lot to do with the character that the story is about.
Oh, relax! My journalistic instinct tells me that an exclusive news story is beckoning. Let's go! No time for delay!
The Forgotten Thief. Can I talk to the children? Nope. No, I thought they were, like, voice lines. They're not. It's fine. It's fine! Oh my goodness. Okay.
Take a guess.
I'll take a guess. Fresh fruit, sweeter than syrup.
David. Hello,
Wow,
Magic Man.
Mr. Magician! How did you know which card I picked?
Oh, it's simple. Come closer and I'll let you in on my secret. Magicians have a special skill called telepathy, which means we can read other people's minds.
Really? Then, what am I thinking now?
Well, first you need to relax, because I can see that you're clenching your fist in your mind, as if to say, no, I mustn't let him guess it.
Aww.
And now you're getting a little flustered. You're trying to find a way to empty your mind, to think of nothing at all. But the more you try to hide a secret, the easier it'll come out. You snuck out from home today, didn't you? You told your family a little lie so you could come out and play. Now, that's not a good habit.
Oh my goodness, he literally did the thing. Finger wag. It's like, you shouldn't do that, mister. Some bad behavior. No more computer for you.
You can tell? Oh boy. You really can read my mind.
Of course. Oh, and that's the end of my performance. You should really be heading home. Remember to apologize to your family, all right? They must be worried about you.
All right, got it. Bye, Mr. Magician.
Hey, Lyney?
Why, hello. We meet again. Are you looking for me? What's the situation?
Ah, that's right. I was gonna be like, why is Paimon acting so weird? It's like, yeah, the last time we met him was a bit difficult. It's a little strained there. The Traveler and Lyney's relationship is a bit strained right now. Oh my god, it's the Fatui music playing. Sorry, I just realized that. Oh, it's in background! That is so cool! It's like mixed in with the music. That's so cool. Okay. Yeah, point being is the Traveler and Lyney's relationship is a bit strained since we found out that he's a Fatui, which is like one of the big villain organizations in the game.
Well, why don't you guess, Mr. Telepathic?
Oh, please. You didn't believe that spiel, did you? The power of telepathy is quite beyond me.
I'm sure that child would beg to differ. Seemed like you were right on the money.
That was nothing more than a little trickery. I made an educated guess based on his micro-expressions.
That may sound like complete, like, baloney, but that's like an actual thing. What are they called? Like, sight readers can do? Where, you know those, like, people who say that they can, like, predict your future and whatnot? So basically what they do is that they pay attention to the tiniest little reactions and body language that you make, and basically make educated guesses based on that. So it's like, a person is likely to do X, Y, and Z if, like, certain things happened to them. Or they are thinking certain things because they are reacting in this very specific way. So, like, this is like an actual thing that people do and practice.
That, plus the fact that he was the only kid here without his parents, and
too.
he looked as guilty as sin. He made it easy for me.
Never before have I heard the expression, guilty as sin.
You guys, on the other hand, let me guess. Don't tell me you're here for the Phantom Weasel, are you?
Wow! Got it in one! Is this more of your trickery at work?
Wait, really? No trickery this time. It was pure luck. His warning letter's been the talk of the town, so I figured that maybe you were asking around about that.
Bingo! I plan on writing a column reporting on the latest news about the Phantom Weasel. So, Lyney, what are your thoughts on this infamous thief's reappearance?
To be honest, it makes me angry.
Angry? Why?
You read his letter, right? The Phantom Weasel claims he's planning something in 3 nights' time at the Opera House. That's the night I'll be performing there.
Oh.
Huh. What are the chances?
That's concerning.
Wait a minute, you don't think he's after you, do you?
Well, if he is, then his warning is clearly a direct challenge to me personally. And if he's not, then it's still going to be a huge headache for me. The mere mention of the Weasel's name is enough to scare people off. So once the contents of that letter get out, barely anyone will be showing up to watch my show.
Dang. Dude, maybe you should reschedule.
But I've been preparing for this for a long time. I'm not about to let him ruin my big day.
Reschedule.
This leaves me with only one choice. I have to expose the Phantom Weasel's identity before the show begins.
Okay, that's cool. Well, you can reschedule, honey. You can. You can reschedule, dude. Like, look, I get it. You've been working on this thing for a very, very long time. But, like, what's another, week gonna do? You're famous. You're popular. Don't pretend you aren't. You can definitely reschedule it to, a week later. You're fine. Also, yes, we're going on a fun little detective investigation with Lyney. That's so fun.
Really? So what you're saying is, we might get to see a live duel between a famous magician and an infamous thief? Wow, this has exclusive written all over it!
To be honest, I'm not sure if I'll emerge the victor. The Phantom Weasel is a notorious crook, infamous for his inscrutable methods.
You're being far too modest, Lyney. I think your magic tricks are even more inscrutable than those of a thief.
Inscrutable.
Thanks for the compliment, though I have to say, I don't care much for the comparison.
So honest. I love that.
A lot of people liken magicians to thieves because we both have the ability to make things disappear without the person noticing. But there's an important difference that these people overlook. Allow me to demonstrate with a quick magic trick. Here, I have a flower, just an ordinary flower that was picked not long ago. Watch it carefully now. 3, 2, 1.
Yo.
It's gone!
Where'd it go?
That's the question. Where did it go? Therein lies the difference between us. Thieves make precious things disappear, but only magicians make them reappear. If I could now invite you all to check your clothes, there might be a surprise in there somewhere.
A surprise? Let me see!
There it is. Huh?
It's right there! But how?
He gave it to the traveler.
What an outstanding trick! Sorry, Lyney, it seems that my previous praise was woefully inadequate. Clearly, magic is the superior art form to theft.
Don't worry, I didn't take offense. I just wanted to take the opportunity to perhaps change some of the preconceived notions you might have about magicians.
Dang. It must be rough for all of the magicians out there. They get a bad rep.
Since Caesar's death, a lot of people associate magicians with criminality. It can be quite frustrating.
I can imagine. Coming back to your trick just now, might I presume that you are well versed in floral symbolism? For example, magicians often use rainbow roses in their flower-related performances to represent passion and romantic encounters.
Yes, this is the line. This is the line that I saw. That she talks about how magicians give rainbow roses for romantic encounters, and then he gives you a rainbow rose later on. That's... Oh, that it's so goofy.
But you used a Lumidu spell, which, if I'm not mistaken, allude to separations. I'm curious to know if there was any deeper meaning behind this choice.
Impressive knowledge. It's no wonder you're such a successful journalist. But I'm afraid I don't know the first thing about floral symbolism. I'm just in the habit of using Lumidu spells in my magic.
Well, now you know.
It sounds like something I should look into, though. I'll buy myself a copy of Fontaine's Floral Language Facts when I have some time, but it'll have to wait until this phantom weasel business is behind us.
Well noted. In that case, this brings us to the end of our interview. I, for one, am looking forward to the final showdown between you and the thief. Please feel free to get in touch to update me on any further developments. Otherwise, I will of course see you at your show in 3 days' time, but let's hope the phantom weasel is caught by then. If there's nothing else, I'll be off. You've given me lots to work with here, and I've got no time to lose if I want to write that exclusive piece. I'll see you all later.
Bye.
So, Lyney, are you gonna tell us how you did that flower trick now?
I'm afraid that's my little secret.
Aww. Well, magicians are entitled to their secrets. But Paimon's really itching to know how it's done. You feel it too, right? So itchy!
Phantom Weasel, are you sure you'll be able to handle him?
Not so itchy then, huh?
Nope.
Well, since you're so concerned, how would you like to serve as my temporary magician's assistants and help me investigate?
Yeah, sure.
Magician's assistants? Oh, that sounds fun! Assistants are technically magicians too! Also, it'll bring us one step closer to figuring out how that darn trick is done! Shall we go for it?
We'll help you with your investigation. What's your plan?
The first thing we need to look into is who Caesar really was. If he truly was the Phantom Weasel, that means that the weasel is dead, and whoever wrote this warning letter is just a copycat criminal.
That is true, yes.
But if he wasn't the weasel? Well, that'll make things more interesting. It would mean that the weasel lives, and he's been laying low all this time in some corner of Fontaine. And if we're investigating Caesar, his fiancée Gemma is a good place to start. Word is that she visits the cemetery often, so I asked Lynette to wait for her there.
How did you ask Lynette? Wait, didn't you, learn about this now? Oh, wait, no, I think he does know about this. Never mind.
We should make a move. Let's go and rendezvous with Lynette.
They're using French terms like rendezvous. I love that. We have a little flower. We actually got the flower. That's adorable. Alright, so it seems like his fiancée is also dead. How fun. Very fun. Okay, where is this? Alright, cool. Far away. It's close to fish. It's close to fish. I'll go to this teleport instead. Hold on a second. Okay. First of all, very depressing music. Let me just get the little flowers. Thanks, Nahida. I can sense that this track is Fontaine's edition. It's their own version of Storm Terror's Lair. Or, what is it? Forsaken Child of Forgotten Dreams. It's the song that plays in Storm Terror's Lair. Very depressing one. You know, I know I kept,
You took your time.
I kept making fun of, not making fun, but I kept basically saying that Mondstadt soundtrack isn't that great. But like, that one track that plays in Storm Terror's Lair is like honestly one of my favorite tracks in the entire game. So, it has some good tracks. Mondstadt has some good tracks.
Sorry, I bumped into the Traveler and Charlotte en route, and we ended up chatting for a while.
Oh, the violin.
It's been a while, Lynette. We're working as Lyney's temporary assistants in the investigation of the Phantom Weasel.
Thank you. It's good to have you helping.
So, what's the situation? Have you seen Gemma?
Nope. I've been here a while, and she still hasn't shown up.
How bizarre. Maybe it was bad intel. Well, we won't get anywhere by standing around waiting. Traveler, Paimon, let's go ask around.
Also, this is like the only cemetery we've seen so far in Fontaine. And it's very small. It's a very, very small cemetery. I need to compare it to Mondstadt. Mondstadt also has a cemetery. That's right there. That right there. It's a cool little, hydroculus. Okay. Hello.
Excuse me, good sir. Do you by any chance know a Gemma?
Gemma? You mean Caesar's fiancé? Sure I do. What's this about?
I'm just trying to get a hold of her because I need her help with something. I heard she comes here a lot?
Yeah, she does.
Okay, she's
Poor
alive.
thing.
Okay.
It's no secret why either. She's heartsick. Ever since Caesar passed away, she's been coming here once every week to clean his grave. Often she just sits there in front of his headstone, lost in thought. Sometimes she talks to herself. I asked her what she was doing once. She said she wanted to speak to him again.
Nixel says hi. Hello.
She knows he's gone and can't hear her from the grave, but she just likes to spend time there, telling her fiancé all about how her life is going.
And she's been
I feel
doing
that.
this ever since Caesar passed away? Oh, so 10 years. Wow. Their love must have been really strong.
I'll bet. Caesar's reputation fell apart after his identity was revealed, so no one else visits his grave. Gemma's the only one who still thinks about him after all these years. I don't know if the mind lives on in the waters after death, but if it does, I'm sure Caesar must be grateful to have someone who remembers him fondly.
Okay, that's interesting. The mind lives in the waters after death.
If I'm honest, I think this is all so unfair to poor Gemma. Her fiancé was a low-life
Honestly, yeah.
crook. He doesn't deserve someone like her.
Oh, oof. Like, what I mean by that is that, although we don't get to hear too much about death in the other nations, at least in Mondstadt and Venti's story quest, they talk about how, the soul can't, like, pass on, if the wind doesn't blow, aka if the animal Archon isn't present. And here they talk about how if their minds are alive in the waters. So it kind of sort of seems like they're, like people's souls go to the element that their nation represents. Which, I don't even know why I'm being like, whoa, that's so cool. I'm like, that's that makes sense. That checks out. Like, yeah, duh, that obviously makes sense. I mean, this is, like, it just makes sense. Boxy the Boxmaster says Paimon's voice is so precious. Paimon's voice is, man, it's adorable sometimes. Like, sometimes it can get a little bit grating, but other times I'm like, oh, she's cute. I do kind of wish that she kept her, like, more natural voice that she had in the very beginning of the game, but it's clear that the voice actor has found, like, the Paimon voice.
Anyway, all of that said, she's running later than usual today. Normally, she'd be sitting in front of his grave by now. I wonder if she's okay. Well, that's everything I know, I'm afraid. You might have more luck asking some other people.
All right, well, thanks for sharing all of this with us. We'll keep asking around.
You're welcome. I just hope she'll be able to move on one day.
I was wondering if this quest is also going to have a big theme around death. I'm not sure if it will, but I like to guess what's going to happen in story quests based on other ones, and I mean, I just compared it to Venti's story quest at the fact that they even mention, like, what, not exactly what happens after death, but like something similar to that. But Venti's story quest had a big theme of death as well. So, Axel says, have you ever seen Naschema animatic of Biggering? I'm not sure. I have seen quite a few Biggering animatics for inspiration for mine. So I'm not sure. There is a chance I might have, since I did watch a good chunk of them for inspiration. Also, this track is gorgeous. This music playing. Wrong one. Wrong button.
Did you hear the news? They're saying the Phantom Weasel's back.
Oh.
You're kidding. Wait, isn't he dead?
So funny. It's like, wait, isn't he dead? I thought he was dead.
I don't know anymore. All sorts of news flying around nowadays. I can never tell what's true and what isn't. But what if, just hypothetically, I mean, what if this weasel's the real deal and Caesar was framed?
You know, not gonna lie, I was thinking that.
Called it. Seriously, 10 years ago, on the day it all went down, I said to myself, you know what? This guy's been set up. The Caesar I knew was a good guy. He gave balloons to children on the street, for Pete's sake. What, are we supposed to believe that he was a balloon thief or something? Give me a break.
Oh, please. Weren't you the one cursing his name to high heaven when the police announced the news? You were all, that gosh darn lousy son of a, you think you know a guy, or words to that effect.
Oh, son of a... Man, I love that. I love it when Genshin is just randomly like, yeah, we're gonna be like so close to saying a swear word, but we're not gonna say it. I love that. It's so funny. That's so funny. I was also going to say, sir, haven't you seen any news of like a massive criminal that has been like hiding for years? A lot of them tend to do like good things for people, but the business, but they do a lot of seedy things in the background. You know, it's kind of like a, I was gonna compare it to like Breaking Bad, even though I know nothing about Breaking Bad, except the basic concept of the main character selling drugs, to help his family. Yeah, what I'm saying is that it's actually a lot common than you think, of like, they're not evil people, but they do a lot of very seedy things.
Wait, did I say that? I don't seem to recall.
I love that his name is Juliano. Love that. Sorry to interrupt.
Hello there. Sorry for disturbing you, but I couldn't help but notice you were discussing the Phantom Weasel. We're actually quite interested in this topic as well, but we're struggling to get to the bottom of it. Do you think you could spare a moment to tell us a little bit about Caesar?
You've come to the right people. Yep, I was there. Back when Caesar used to perform magic tricks on the street. He was a great magician. The best trick I ever saw him do was pop a transparent balloon, only for a whole bunch of doves to fly out from the inside. I was right up close and didn't blink or look away once. But for the life of me, I still don't have the faintest clue how he pulled it off. Really incredible stuff.
I saw him perform too. He always used to bring some gifts along for the kids who came to watch his show, and he'd hand them out after he was done. Sometimes he even got the kids to write their wishes down, and then he'd make the items on the wish list appear in his next show.
It's adorable.
Huh. He doesn't sound like such a bad guy.
But after he died, there were also rumors that he used the wish list to find out what was precious to people, with the intent to steal it later. As I'm sure you know, the Phantom Weasel would steal just about anything from anyone.
Whatever the case, now that the weasel is back, Caesar's become a hot topic once more. I bet Gemma must be pleased. If Caesar's name gets cleared, maybe it'll finally give her some solace after all this time. No, speak of the devil. That's her over there. If you've got any more questions about Caesar, she's definitely the one to ask.
So that's Gemma. Is it just Paimon, or does it look like something's wrong? Wait, it looks like she's injured.
Oh.
Come on, let's see if she's okay.
I love how Paimon can just notice that when someone is like walking in the distance. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to notice that.
Hi there.
I'm blind.
You're Gemma, right?
Who's asking?
Don't be afraid, we mean no harm. It looks like you're injured. How bad is it?
Thanks for your concern, but you didn't answer my question.
Dang.
Who are you, and what do you want with me?
My name is Lyney, and this is my sister Lynette.
My name's Paimon, and this here's the Traveler. We're investigating the Phantom Weasel.
The Weasel posted a warning letter this morning. If he still lives, that means that Caesar was falsely accused. You knew Caesar better than anyone else. So if you're willing, we'd love to hear what you think about all this. I promise you can trust us. We won't hurt you. In fact, we'll do all we can to keep you safe.
I never believed that he was the Weasel.
Huh. I suspected as much. Okay, so going back 10 years, do you remember anything strange in the weeks leading up to the accident? Did Caesar have a falling out with anyone, for instance?
No, not that I know of.
Got it. All right, sorry for disturbing you.
I love the like, what is it, the depth of field going on here. Genshin didn't do this back then. I like that they're doing it. It makes everything more cinematic.
If you don't have any more questions, please leave. I want to be alone with him.
Like, okay, that was a bit rough.
Judging by the look on her face, there's definitely something fishy about her.
She's lying. She definitely knows something.
Perhaps she simply doesn't trust us.
That's fair. We're just a bunch of strangers who showed up and started questioning her about things that happened a whole decade ago. It makes sense that she'd be wary around us.
Yeah.
In any case, I doubt we'll get any further here, so let's call it a day. Meet me outside Hotel de Boer tomorrow, and then we'll start the next step of our plan.
I had a little thought, which was, like, because when Lyney was telling us his backstory in Fontaine Act 1, I'm going to try to get the hydroculus, but in Fontaine Act 1, when he was telling us his backstory, he said that when him and Lynette were, like, street children, he would copy the moves of a magician that he saw perform on the streets. So I thought, like, oh, was, like, Caesar the man? Was he the one that Lyney was inspired by? If that's the case, I think that's adorable. Ah. There it is, there it is. I'll get it. So do you have any OCs based on you? It kind of depends what you mean on based on me. Like, if you mean that the character is... Oh, shoot. No! If you mean if a character is, like, basically me than one of my OCs named Coloratura. Technically, kind of, sort of. But she's more, I'm not gonna lie, kind of like wish fulfillment for me. Where I was like, she's a princess, but she also just kind of acts like a normal person. And, I don't know, she likes music and hanging out with her friends. And so a lot of her is definitely based on me. But, like, so is, like, her younger brother, which is based on the more, like, anxious side of me. Because Coloratura is more of an extrovert, which, again, wish fulfillment. It's like, ah, man, I wish I had confidence to talk to people, so. Are you serious? Oh my god. So Coloratura was definitely meant to be like that. How am I going to get there?
Hip.
Her brother is a lot more of, like, the anxious side of me.
Hip.
Some of her friends are, like, the nerdy side of me, and the more, like, cautious side of me. So I definitely say, like, I wouldn't say any of the OCs are me, but they're, like, I wouldn't say they're parts of me either. They just so happen to be characters that when I write them, I'm like, well, how would this person react? And so then I think...
This is no time for distractions!
Not now. And I would think, like, how would this character react? And then I think, okay, how would I react? But if I were a little more, like, confident. So, like, it wasn't necessarily, like, intentionally based off of me, but because I use how I would act for them, they kind of sort of are. So, to answer that question, yes, kinda? A little bit, yeah. Coloratura definitely. I wouldn't say that she is me, but she was definitely, like, in, like, a wish fulfillment version. She was definitely like, man, I wish, like, this, and that was, like, a thing. So, yeah, there's your complicated roundabout answer. All right. Let's go to the hotel thingy. Where is it? Where is the marker? Oh, wait until the next morning. Oh, okay. We did all that for nothing. So at like 8 a.m. So around here. All right. Alright, rendezvous with Lyney. The Magician's Secret. What a funny name. Oh, there he is. Hello.
Over here.
Lynette's not joining us today?
I've had her follow Gemma and see if we can make any inroads with her. They should be at a cafe right now. Still, I don't think that Gemma's likely to open up to us. So, we need a contingency plan.
Where should we start?
Today, we'll be looking into a guy named Lorenzo, Caesar's former pupil and assistant. When Caesar passed away, all the stolen goods discovered in his home were confiscated and returned to their rightful owners. But Lorenzo was the only one privy to all his magic secrets, and he inherited his craft. Before long, Lorenzo was the next big magician in town, his fame surpassing even that of his master, and it made him very wealthy. He's since left the magic scene, though, and these days, he's a wealthy businessman with his fingers in a lot of different pies. I had to pull a lot of strings, but I managed to get him to agree to a couple of drinks with me. Be warned, though, I hear he's got a hair-triggered temper.
Okay.
We'd best be careful.
Okay, how old is... I mean... It's really useless saying how old is Lyney because none of these characters have canon ages. But... he does drink. We know that. So, right here. Have I read in here before? I don't remember if I've been in here before. No, I actually don't remember if I've been here before. What the heck? I said that like 3 times, but I... Whoopsie. I need to look around. I don't think I've been here.
You neglected to mention that you were bringing 2 other people with you.
I said, damn, okay, sorry.
My apologies. These 2 are my assistants. When they heard that I was meeting with the former magic maestro himself, they begged and pleaded with me to bring them along. And if it's no trouble, a couple of autographs would really make their day.
Oh, forget the pleasantries. Just sit.
Okay.
Get a load of this guy. Forget the pleasantries, he says, but he looks pretty happy about Lyney stroking his ego.
I only agreed to meet since we're both magicians. Do me a favor and cut to the chase. I have more important things to do than drinking.
Much obliged, sir. As it happens, the matter I want to address is also related to magic. Yesterday morning, a warning letter from the Phantom Weasel appeared on the entrance to the Opera House. He claims to be planning something for the same evening that I'm scheduled to do a magic show there. As such, I believe that I may well be his target. I have to get to the bottom of this to ensure that my show can go ahead as planned. Naturally, any investigation into the Weasel starts with a few questions about Caesar, who...
What is there to investigate? Caesar was the Weasel and he's been dead for 10 years. So what if some sick creep thought it'd be funny to write a warning letter? It changes nothing. Are you trying to tell me you actually bought it?
Please, sir, no need to get so worked up. I do concede that a copycat is but one possibility.
Possibility? It's a fact, Lyney. Look, my patience is limited, so listen carefully while I'm still willing to put up with you.
Drinks.
The Weasel is dead. Period. Everyone knows that, so do yourself a favor and quit this investigation. It'll lead you nowhere. Look, if this affects your magic show in any way, I will personally compensate you for any losses.
Oh, sir, I'm honored, really. But this isn't about finances for me. My pride as a magician is what's at stake here, Lorenzo. Copycat or not, this person has thrown me the gauntlet, and I must meet their challenge head on.
Okay, but y'all notice this adorable little mechanical chef stirring the pot. That is the cutest thing I've ever seen. That is so cute.
Your pride? Don't mince words with me, boy. Just tell me, what exactly are you seeking to do?
I want to find out the Phantom Weasel's true identity. I have to know for myself what really happened 10 years ago.
What would that accomplish? And what do the events of 10 years ago have to do with you, anyway? Look, you of all people should know that a magician never reveals their secrets. And in any case, dead men don't talk. So if you really care about your magician's pride, then you'll forget about Caesar and move on.
Dang.
Uh-oh, this is getting awkward.
Lorenzo? Is that? Oh, it is you! I know that big, booming voice anywhere. What's up, my man?
What's up?
Want to grab a drink with me?
Another day, I'm busy.
Oh, come on. You can't be all business all the time. You know what they say? Live fast, die young. You gotta learn how to kick back and relax once in a while.
This man.
If I wanted your life advice, I'd ask for it. Now get out of my face and go be drunk somewhere else.
Sorry, my good sir. I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Oh, hey! Edmondo. He and I are business pals. We worked together a bunch of times. This is your first time meeting him? Oh, he's always like this. Foul-mouthed and hard-nosed. Never heard a kind word out of this guy the whole time I've known him.
Just a bit of an ass. All the time, every day.
And he wonders why he can't get a girlfriend, despite being, what, pushing 40, 30, something? Anyway, point is, a lot older than when he first got rejected by the girl he was into. And is still into, from what I hear.
Dang.
Shut up and get out of my face. Another word out of you and you can forget about doing business with me ever again. Do I make myself clear?
That's rough, buddy.
Sorry, I may have had a little too much to drink. All right, I'm gonna leave. Don't work too hard.
That was weird.
I think it's high time I made a move as well. If you really want to investigate this, Lyney, be my guest. But if nothing good comes of it, don't say I didn't warn you.
Well, that fell to pieces in a rather spectacular fashion. Any thoughts?
Yeah. All of that for nothing. That kind of sucked. There is something strange about him.
Totally. And what was all that about compensating you for your losses? Why would someone you just met make an offer like that? He's gotta be hiding something. And not like Gemma. She was a little suspicious, but this guy's definitely covering something up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think so too. We need to look into Lorenzo more closely. That guy Edmondo seems to know a thing or two about him. He only just left. Let's see if we can catch up with him.
Let's just make sure that he is just hammered enough that, like, by the next day he didn't even remember, like, half of the stuff that he told us. Or any.
What did you want?
Preferably any. Okay, so before we talk to the guy, we need to look around this place. I didn't know we could enter. Or maybe I did and I just don't remember, but I don't. Ooh. Oh, this is very nice. I love the particle effects near the windows. That's the boss. Look at the dog.
Art is the key ingredient in fine dining.
The dog. That's so cute. I love the dog. Nothing here. Okay. It is very weird that they call it the Hotel Devore, but there's a doesn't look much like a hotel, but it's more just a big restaurant. Can I walk in here? No, I can't. Darn it. Oh well. Axel says I kind of give my sort of OC some of my personality traits. Yeah, I think like everybody does. I think every author always puts a little bit of themselves into whatever they're writing. Because we're like our ultimate example of like a person, if that makes sense. Like feasibly we know ourselves the best, so we're going to use ourselves as a base. But I do wonder how old Lyney is. Because they made it clear that he is definitely old enough to drink. And I mentioned this because a lot of people think that characters like the shorter male models are like teenagers. And I can see where their argument comes from, but it also kind of falls flat when you just think about like context of at least some of the characters, not all of them, of course. And so I can't say anything for Lyney yet. I can't say too much about Lyney, not yet, because I don't know enough about him to make a good judgment. But the fact that he can drink, the fact that well, I mean, you don't see him drinking, but the fact that he's like, yeah, I'm gonna just go into a restaurant and buy some drinks, like, definitely say that he's definitely of age. Or whatever the of age is in the Genshin universe.
You okay there?
Who are you? Oh, it's you guys. Don't worry about me. I must have had one too many. I just need to ride it out. I said way too much back there, didn't I? Yeah, I nearly talked myself into complete financial ruin. Note to self, no more drunken chats when Lorenzo's around.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
So he was serious about threatening to cut you off? Ugh, Paimon knew he was a bad egg.
Hey!
What do you mean?
Keep your voice down. Don't go prying into Lorenzo's personal affairs. Bad things happen to people who ask too many questions or make an enemy out of him.
That is sus. That right there sounds very sus.
What kind of bad things?
Yeah.
Don't even ask. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to cut this conversation short. I'm not crossing that line again.
Okay.
And take it from me, trouble with Lorenzo is one thing you don't need in your life. You saw him flare up back there. I don't know what you said to him, but clearly it touched a nerve. That's not a good sign. You're too young for this. Don't get in over your head. I'm leaving.
This voice actor had fun.
And there he goes. What do we do now, Lyney?
Shh. I think we're being watched. Someone was listening in to our whole conversation.
Oh, yep. That person right there. That person right there. I love how Lyney just knows these things.
Don't say anything and don't look back. Any altercation in the city will attract the guards. We'd better take this elsewhere.
Also, I love how that last camera shot was in the perspective of the guy watching him. I love POV shots like that. I love shots that look like a normal camera shot. It's actually a person, like, looking. Like, it's a POV shot, but it's not obvious it is one. I love shots like that. Yeah, that guy was, like, right there. Standing right around here. Alright, where are we going again? Wow, okay. Oh, we're going far! Okay, damn! Lyney was serious. He was like, leave the entire city, why don't you? Leaving the whole damn town. Dang.
You followed us a long way. Why don't you come out and introduce yourselves?
Oh, okay, so leave the city so we can fight. Okay.
So you're Lyney. And where's your sister? Ain't she with you today?
Let's see, oh my god, they're mobsters. Well, I don't know if they are mobsters. But, Smooth Face, come on. I know this is Pacino? Is this Smooth Face Pacino? Like, please make it Pacino. I want it to be Pacino.
Save us the trouble and go fetch her
pronunciation.
for us. Let's not drag this out.
No, please no.
Paimon doesn't like the tone of your voice, mister! Who sent you, huh?
Save your questions, missy. You ain't gonna need answers where you're going. Capiche?
We got, Painter De Niro. Oh my god, these are funny.
Looks like we can't avoid this fight.
He's like, well, time for the player to, test try me so, they like me enough so they could spend money get me.
Now, I'm not the strongest fighter, so I hope you're ready to back me up.
Don't worry, we got this!
Time for a Lyney test trial. Because they all have test trials. But joke's on you, I already have Lyney. Dang it. No, I'm fine.
Now disappear! I'm fine.
Darn. I am not the best bow user. Oh, wow, that was easy. That was super easy. I thought it was going to be harder. Okay.
Tougher than we thought.
Vision wielders are always trouble. Intimidation ain't gonna work like it did on the lady.
Come on, let's scram!
The lady, what does that mean?
Hey, wise guys! We ain't through with you yet! Oh, they got away! Did you catch what they said just before they left? Something about intimidating someone else. Sounds like they just wanted to rough us up as a scare tactic, and they've already done it to someone else, but who?
I am wondering though, like, because that fight was so short, like, is it because I already have Lyney and I gave him all of D-Luke's artifacts? So basically my Lyney is fairly beefed up. Not fully built, but it's pretty alright. Is it because of that, or is it because the trial test version of him is just insanely cracked? I can't tell. Could it be Gemma?
You're right. She was injured when we saw her yesterday, and she acted like she had something to hide. Maybe she was too scared to tell us the truth because those guys had threatened her.
Well, if that's the case, she should be more willing to open up to us once she learns that those thugs won't be bothering her anymore. Let's head back to the cafe and see if we can get any information from her.
So, there it is. The Hydroculus. It's up a tree. Got it. Alright. Is it back in the hotel, or... Seems like a restaurant. Alright, so we know a couple of thugs are involved in all this. Were they the ones that framed everything? Are they the Fontaine version of the treasure hoarders? You know, that's one thing I've noticed. I haven't seen any treasure hoarders in Fontaine yet. So, are they treasure hoarders? Like, oh my god, random headcanon, which is probably completely fake. But what if they like are Fontaine's version, like Fontaine's treasure hoarders, but because of the because how advanced Fontaine is as a nation, they're not just like a gang anymore. They're like a full-on like organized crime, like basically a mafia. And while they were off like stealing and smuggling and all that, they used Caesar. They basically framed Caesar. Like, all of their stuff and resources were, like, pointing towards him. It was like a massive setup. It was a massive, decade-long setup. I just had that thought. Free coffee. I saw an NPC saying free coffee. They seem to be having a fun time.
Gemma?
You again. What is it this time?
We just ran into the men who've been threatening you, and we gave them a taste of their own medicine. So, you can relax now. We're here to protect you.
What? Why? I didn't tell you anything. Why would they come after you?
Sounds like they're no strangers to you.
That's putting it mildly. I know them all too well, and I hate them with every fiber of my being. It's been 10 long years, and still every time I try to look into Caesar's death, they show up and warn me not to do anything stupid. How do I know I can trust you? Do you really think you can get to the bottom of it all? And Why are you doing this?
'Cause we want to.
I'm afraid I can't reveal all the details just yet, but I can promise you this. I will expose the Phantom Weasel's true identity. Because you see, this is a personal matter of the utmost importance. I give you my word. Trust me.
Okay. How can I help you?
I've heard that Caesar used to have a magic workshop where he kept a lot of his personal effects. If possible, I'd like to take a look at them. Do you know where it is?
The Fleuve Sonde. But the place was sealed up by the police after his death, and no one's been there since. I also know that the Fleuve Sonde is dangerous territory. Lots of hostile groups lurking around. If you're serious about going there, please be careful.
Understood. Lynette, you stay here and take care of Gemma. Don't let her come to harm.
Got it. But if I'm staying here, I'm ordering dessert.
I mean, bon appetit. But stay sharp, too. They're likely to come for you while I'm away.
Okay. All right. Power saving mode off. I'll start taking this more seriously now.
What do you mean by that? Lynette is so weird. Can I talk to them like this?
With me here,
Kind of.
nothing will happen.
Whatever you do, please be careful. If anything happens to you because you're investigating Caesar, I'll never be able to forgive myself.
You know, I'm starting to believe that my little theory that Caesar was the man that inspired Lyney. Am I going? No. I'm starting to believe that's not really a theory anymore. I'm starting to think that's exactly what it was.
Here just keeps getting more bitter.
That was somebody attempting a British accent. Hello. You tried your best. This is hold up. Wait, what? Oh, okay, it's in the slums. Okay. I was like, why is it there? It's in the slums. Interesting that all of Caesar's work stuff is in this area here. Find that
So long as the audience thinks that seeing is believing,
Lyney.
there's no limit to the number of tricks I can pull off.
Lyney, you're so freaking loud that I can literally hear your echo, okay? Speak quieter, please. I love you. Just shut up. Shut up sometimes. Hey, excuse me, boys.
If Gemma gave us the right location, then the workshop should be right nearby. Huh. Looks like these boxes are blocking the entrance. Let's shift them away first. There we go. It should be just down here.
Oh, that's creepy. That's it's not creepy at all. Nah. Okay, I'm assuming this is a domain. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Okay. So, 1,000%, I am like 100% sure that we're going to have Lyney as a test try. So I'm not sure if I want to keep my barely built Lyney with us right now because of that. I don't think I'm gonna do that.
Ready for a rehearsal?
Let me switch him with Venti for now. Because I am, like, very certain that, like... Or actually, maybe not. Because I don't know which one is stronger.
It's an honor to be here.
Because the thing is that they don't make the test trial Lyney's, like... Or just the test trial characters, like, super, super strong. They just have them, like, built enough so that you can get, like... You know, you have enough of, like, hey, they're pretty cool. Let's try it out. Okay, not creepy at all. Freaking, yeah, no, I have the test trial version anyway. Didn't matter at all. Dang. Nothing mattered. Also, this is some nice, creepy music. Oh, okay.
So
Okay, cool.
this was Caesar's workshop. Nothing suspicious here, just normal magic props.
Normal magic.
Let's head in further.
Yeah, I can totally see the normal magic props around me. Definitely, 100%. Ah, see, some balloons. See, yeah, they're everywhere. Oh, are these giant play cards? That's funny. It's a bit,
What was that? Oh, is this one of Caesar's gadgets? Guess we must have triggered some sort of device.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, that actually jump scared me a bit. I'm on, not the teddy bear. Okay.
And voila!
Did I stun it? Did I stun it? I did. Okay. It's a lot of balloons. Like I said, this is it's a very, very, very elaborate workshop for a magician. Bit strange. All right, let's fight these guys.
I see everything.
Hello.
The depths beckon.
And voila!
Whoa. Look.
Did I
the doll
kill
on the
them that
box
quickly?
is glowing.
Okay. Oh my god, am I getting good at the game for the first time? Or is test trial Lyney just that cracked? Is he so cracked? Because that fight felt like nothing. What the heck? I don't know, maybe it's because I've just been like grinding for artifacts recently, so I'm really used to fights lasting, like at the very least, like 7 minutes.
There's something written on the card on this doll. Let's take a closer look.
Yeah, hold up, Paimon, I'm busy. Oh, let me get my health back. I'm just gonna... Okay, what does it say? I'd like a little dove. I want a robot with cool powers. Note, you need your parents' permission to own a pet, and also you need to take good care of it. That's cute. I brought a fluffy toy dove for you this time. If you're ready to own a pet, I'll make a real dove appear for you next time. Oh, this time. Bleh. That didn't bring back my health? What? I like...
These magic boxes are moving. What do we do?
One of them looks different from the rest. Let's investigate.
I don't know if this was right, but I was assuming that it was one of those things where you'd have to guess. Can I restart it? Okay. I was assuming it was one of those things that you had to like keep an eye on this important one. So that like glowy yellow one, just keep an eye on the hat box. Yes!
And voila!
Man, I'm so smart. I know how to play video games. I definitely know how smart I am. Let's see. What's in here?
That's weird. Have we reached the end already?
Not creepy at all.
There's nothing here. Maybe this was a wasted trip.
Lyney, what are you looking at?
This place seems a little too ordinary for a magician's workshop.
Are you sure?
There's a distinct lack of mystery.
Are you sure? I don't know, man. I think it's a little too much for a magician's workshop. I don't know. Just my opinion.
We've triggered quite a few devices on the way here. I'm starting to wonder whether Caesar built this whole place as one big, elaborate magic contraption.
Now see, that makes sense. That makes sense.
If so, then there must be more to this place than meets the eye. Maybe a hidden room somewhere. Aha! If I just move this book, then hopefully... And... presto!
Hey yo, secret room, hidden room!
Secret passageway! How did you know?
I'm a magician too, and apparently great minds really do think alike.
What, do you just have... do you just have secret passageways just on the regular? Do you also have them? Like your own specific secret passageway? I don't know, man. I don't think you... okay. Well, you are a Fatui. So actually, low-key, I kind of take that back.
Looks pretty big inside. Let's head in and take a look around.
There's a chest. I saw a chest. I saw a chest in there. Yes! Gimme. The heck? Seriously, this is a magician's workshop? Are you sure? This isn't even like the actual workshop. This is like the secret part. What the heck? Is it a notch here?
Hey!
Now see, most of the time when they have little domains like this, right, they're usually like factories and stuff. Even though it's like factories and stuff, like it makes sense. It makes sense why they're really big and elaborate.
Now
and why
disappear.
they have a bunch of like enemies, you know? Okay, seriously. Is this Lyney just super, it's just stupid crack? Or am I genuinely getting good at the game? I honestly can't tell. I'm pretty sure this Lyney is just very cracked. Yeah, like usually these things are like either factories or like mansions, you know? Factories or mansions, you know, that makes sense, right? That's why they're really like big and wandery and dungeon-like, because like typically the locations make sense why they're like this. But a workshop of what I'm assuming is just kind of a normal guy, unless he had like a magician organization. If he did, then that would make sense. But I love that even Lyney is like, something's off about this place. Even though according to him, this is like nothing for a magician, which is like, okay. I don't know, man. I don't think they're this. I don't think they're this elaborate. Yes, I'm gonna be hung up on this.
Everyone hold hands!
Huh. I'll do it first.
Here comes the finale.
Why have you stopped, Lyney? Is there some device in that box?
Huh. It just looks familiar somehow. Let me check this out for a second while you guys go on ahead.
Okay.
If anyone makes a major discovery, let's rendezvous here.
All right, see you in a bit.
I love how they're constantly using terms like rendezvous, bon appetit. It's so cute.
The placement of this device inside. If I remember correctly...
It looks similar to the box you did your magic trick in. I don't know. But yeah, no, the enemies have been so easy, I haven't even done the burst yet. Okay. Activate all magic steps without stepping on them twice. Ooh, that's hard. Okay, okay. No pressure. Ooh, that's hard, actually. Dang. Do you think I can do this? Aha! I can! Easy. Piece of cake. Super easy. That was a little too easy, actually. I love the little magic hat on the store. That's so cute.
Wow! There's a hidden room here! Let's see! Oh, this bookcase is full of Caesar's own notes! He wrote a lot about the principles of magic. Whew. Much too advanced for Paimon. Hey, look! Is that Caesar's diary on the table?
Perhaps. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is quite a bit for a magician. Like, damn. How rich was this guy? I'm starting to wonder.
This book's thick as a brick! Let's take a peek inside it, shall we?
Oh, okay. Okay, about the wish list.
At one of my shows a few days ago, a child asked me how I pulled candy out of my hat. As a joke, I told the kid that the hat has a built-in wish-granting machine. Next thing I know, today a whole bunch of kids were pestering me to pull all sorts of things out of the hat. So I told them another white lie. The machine needs time to power up, but in the meantime, you can write your wishes down. Well, they took me up on that offer, enthusiastically. As I write this, I've only just got back from running around all over town, buying the things they wanted. Boy, are my legs sore. I wound up saving very little this month, but that's not a major issue. I now have a bigger problem. How am I going to hide all these things inside my hat?
It's really cute. About the children studying magic, okay.
2 children came to talk to me after today's show. I don't know why they were out on their own. They looked much too young to be unsupervised. I do hope they got home safely.
Is this Lyney and Lynette? Please let it be Lyney and Lynette.
Anyway, they said that they wanted me to teach them how to do magic. It's not uncommon for children to ask this, of course, but I've never seen any of them as serious about it as these 2. I told them that learning magic is very hard work, but that didn't faze them at all. It's like they already knew. They seemed so committed. I couldn't turn them down.
It has to be Lyney and Lynette. I mean, it's 2 children who are alone without their parents, being like, teach us how you did your magic tricks. About Lorenzo's issues.
It seems like something's bothering Lorenzo lately, but he won't open up to me about it. Surely he's not upset that I agreed to teach those 2 children.
Oh.
I'll have to talk him around. I have a good feeling about those kids. They're naturally talented, and it seems like they're not new to the world of magic.
It has to be the both of them, it has to.
They have all sorts of fantastic ideas. All I'm really doing is helping them develop a more professional standard training plan. They wanted to call me Master, but I told them they absolutely mustn't. Any magician worth their salt could have taught them what I have. They're the geniuses here. Compared to them,
I don't deserve to be called any sort of master. With time, I have no doubt that they could become far greater magicians than I. My only concern is why they're so mature for their age.
Oh.
I fear they've had to grow up too fast. I don't dare to imagine what they must have been through.
Yeah, I was actually just about to say that when he said, like, why they're so mature for their age, and I'm like, yeah, if it is, they've gone through a lot.
Gemma thinks so too. She doesn't like being around them. Says that their eyes are too piercing.
Okay, what does that mean?
They don't bother me, but then again, I've never been the sharpest tool in the shed.
Aw, that's sad. About the farewell. Also, I love the about Lorenzo's issues. He just mentions Lorenzo like once.
It's nearly time for me to go on tour. I asked the two kids if they'd like to come with me, but they shook their heads. I once overheard them talking about their father and their mission. Sounds like their parents have other plans for them. I guess we'll be parting ways soon.
Okay. Alright, so it is. It is Lyney and Lynette.
It's only been 10 days since I first met them, but I think that I've gotten a feel for their personalities now. They're very tough, but also very cautious, and they trust no one but each other. This, I fear, is not a good habit to have.
Yeah.
They hide things from me too. For example, when I asked them where they live and why they wanted to learn magic, they lied. That's the thing about children. Whenever they're trying to cover something up, it always shows somehow. I can sense that their lives have been hard, possibly even dangerous too. They're not like other children. It's a shame that I can't do more to help them. After thinking things over, I decided to tell them a bit about how I see the world. It's full of lies and falsehoods, and that is why we must find our own truth. P.S. I hope they won't find my nagging annoying. Children are so opinionated nowadays. Will it do them more harm than good for someone they've only known 10 days to lecture them like that? P.P.S. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Children aren't interested in grand philosophies. It probably just went in one ear and out the other. I bet they've already forgotten every word I said. Oh, Caesar, Caesar. Just mind your own business next time.
Stop reading.
Two magic geniuses with a father and a mission, huh?
That sounds awfully familiar.
Sounds a lot like he was writing about Lyney and Lynette, don't you think?
Yeah.
So did they meet Caesar when they were kids? Let's go ask Lyney!
Okay, so this was after they were taken in by Arlecchino, which is interesting. I assumed that this was before, because in Lyney's backstory he talked about how he already performed magic. He already performed magic like way before he was taken in by Arlecchino, or way before Arlecchino like found them. So I assumed that when they asked Caesar for magic, like how they did magic tricks, it was before. But I guess not. And then again, he did say that they were already like good at it, and what they needed was like the professionalism. But they were on a mission. What this mission is, I don't know. What's up?
Lyney!
Shh, hold that thought. As I expected, there's a lot of fishy things going on in this place.
Lyney, we know.
Fishy? Uh-oh, what have you found?
All in good time. Before we go over our new leads, I want to tell you how a high-altitude escape is performed.
Okay.
First, the magician slots themselves into a magic box in full view of the audience. The box is then suspended high in the air, and a short while later, the base automatically opens.
The magician slaps himself into a magic box in full view of the audience. The box is then suspended, and a short while later, the base opens. Okay.
At this point, a dummy will fall out of the box, but it looks real enough to grab the audience's attention, and they start wailing and screaming. Meanwhile, the real magician, who has by now blended into the crowd, waits for a good moment to make their appearance and put on a hysterical performance.
Okay.
Oh no! Is that me? Did I just fall to my death?
It's a weird trick.
Very vivid description. Paimon can really picture it. And then what?
The audience's gaze then turns to the magician, and by the time they realize what's happened, the dummy has vanished, as if everything that just happened was some sort of shared illusion.
That is so, that is both really cool, but also a little bit messed up. It's like...
Of course, that's just how I think the process should work, theoretically speaking.
Theoretically speaking? What do you mean?
The inventor of this trick never performed it successfully. When the box opened, Caesar was the one who fell out, and not the dummy.
Well, isn't that cheery?
He fell right to the ground from the highest point of the opera house.
Oh, okay.
No one could hope to survive that fall. Not without a vision, at least.
Huh.
And no one else has ever attempted this trick since. My understanding of how it works is just based on what I could gather from his notes and the relevant gadgets here in his workshop.
So Caesar's famous high-altitude escape has never been done, huh? Paimon was about to say how cool it would have been to see it in person, but if it's that dangerous, it's probably for the best that no one else tries to do it.
Yeah, there are some tricks that should just, never be done. That's... this is a pretty common thing in the world of magicians, from what I know.
Wait a second. So if a dummy's supposed to drop out of the box, then where does the real magician go? How does he get out?
Glad you asked. That brings us to the secret of said box. This box right here is the one that Caesar constructed himself to use in the performance, and it's not as simple as it looks. Inside, there's a device that only the magician himself would know about. Once the magician's inside and the box is lifted up into the air, the audience's view of the box is fixed at a certain angle.
Okay.
From where they're standing, they have a clear view of the front, sides, and bottom, but the back and the top are now no longer visible.
Okay.
At this point, the magician presses a button inside the box, opening a secret door out of view. He then escapes through this trap door onto the opera house roof, waits for the dummy to fall and distract the audience, and quietly returns to ground level.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
That's way simpler than Paimon imagined. Even Paimon could probably do it.
Well, there's a little more to it than that, of course. The hardest part of this trick is controlling the audience's mood and reactions. That takes an exceptional degree of showmanship. There's the falling dummy, the miraculous reappearance, the pompous performing. Maybe the magician would even have themselves tied up before it begins to strengthen the impression that there's no escape. Many days and nights of careful research and painstaking practice would have gone into this, all culminating in a performance just a few minutes long, but one that still manages to transform the shock and grief of a tragic accident to the joy and laughter of a mesmerizing magic trick. Caesar was a highly accomplished magician, but unfortunately, even he didn't manage to pull it off.
So, how did it go so wrong? You said you found some fishy stuff here. Have you figured out what really happened?
I can make a pretty good guess. I looked into the case files. The magic box Caesar was using at the time of his death had the secret button I mentioned positioned on the right-hand side. And sure enough, he always used his right hand as his dominant hand in public.
Okay.
Okay. Now Nothing suspicious there.
But was he actually left-handed?
But here's the strange thing. Most of the devices in this workshop have the mechanism on the left-hand side, including this box right here, which leads me to believe that Caesar was in fact left-handed.
Okay. I'm not sure where you're going with this. Why would Caesar pretend to be right-handed?
Because a magician can't afford to have their most basic habits stand out too much. People naturally focus their attention on the most important details of the task or situation at hand.
True. Most basic habits have naturally focus on the situation, the detail. I mean, because magician can't afford to have their most basic habits stand out too much. People naturally focus their attention on the most important details. Well, yeah, that makes sense, right? Like, no, but that's exactly it. No one would really notice, would they? Huh.
But a magician needs to be able to redirect an audience's attention at will, so as to avoid arousing their suspicion.
Yeah.
The essence of magic is getting people to believe a lie. If even the truth raises eyebrows, the falsehoods become all the more difficult to mask.
Okay.
And so, Caesar trained himself to use his right hand to align with his audience's expectations. Great magic always requires sacrifices.
I mean, I kind of get it. Now look, I'm left-handed, okay? And the amount of times when I've mentioned that I'm left-handed, and people who know me say, wait, you're left-handed? Most people don't know that. Like, even if you are left-handed, most people don't even realize it unless either you mention it or they're, like, really focusing. So, although I guess it makes sense if, like, you know, if there's a chance that that one person is going to weirdly fixate on the handedness, which they're... Actually, no, that does kind of make sense. Because it's like... But at the same time... Well, I guess it does. Okay, if Caesar really was up to some fishy business, then actually, no, that would make sense why he would do that. Because there's going to be that one person who's going to fixate on the handedness. Okay, that does kind of sort of make sense. It's convoluted, but it makes sense.
But in his most stressful and nerve-wracking moments, and when no one was watching, reflex would kick in and he'd use his left hand. That's why he set his gadgets with the mechanism on his left.
Maybe someone exploited the fact against him.
Exactly. I think that's likely what happened.
Okay.
Caesar would have been under a lot of time pressure during the escape. He'd have had mere seconds to open the hidden compartment, retrieve the dummy, then open the secret door and make a swift escape. But I'm sure he was confident. He would have rehearsed countless times to the point where it was second nature. He'd barely need to think about what he was doing because muscle memory would guide him through. So he opened the compartment, took out the dummy, checked everything was in order, and then went to leave. With his left hand, he reached for the button, and suddenly, his heart skipped a beat. It wasn't there.
That's actually that's terrifying.
Much like when you reach for your keys but find your pocket empty, his mind needed a moment to process what was going on. Instinctively, his left hand would keep feeling around for the missing button, maybe for another second or two, until the bottom of the box gave way.
Dude, that is terrifying. That is, like, actually terrifying.
With the stakes being as high as they were, just a 2-second delay cost him everything. The authorities would find nothing suspicious and conclude that his death was due to his own error.
When in reality, someone switched the boxes, and they did it to murder him. But how would they be able to make the switch without being noticed? That would be difficult to pull off, no?
It would have to have been someone who knew that he was left-handed and who could move his props around without arousing suspicion. Someone who was always by his side.
Someone probably named... Lorenzo.
Isn't that right, Lorenzo?
Yeah.
You just couldn't let sleeping dogs lie, could you?
No.
There's not a lot of people who'd go to all this trouble for some magician who died 10 years ago. I didn't want to have to do this, you know. Silencing you the hard way just creates more problems for me to deal with. But I gave you your chance. I hoped you'd do what's good for you and back off like the lady, but you disappoint me.
You mean Gemma? So you are the one who's been threatening her!
Yes, although however stubborn she might be, she was never much of a liability. But you people... You never even knew him, but for some reason you just wouldn't drop it.
Well, actually...
Which is why you can't leave this place alive. Take them out, and make it quick.
Alright, time to kill them.
Do your worst!
Yeah, we got this. It's like, what? Do the people not read the newspapers? Like, bro, I've fought ancient... Oh my god. I've fought ancient gods before. Do they not read the newspapers? So much, all of our fame, our canonical fame for all of the other stuff we did in the other countries.
And voila!
Oh my god, big boy, big boy.
A round of applause!
Okay, that was easy. A little too easy, but okay. Did he just hit him with a card? That's cool.
You kids are tougher than you look.
Had enough yet, Lorenzo? Your cronies can't help you now. I think it's high time you started talking, and what I'd really like to know is, why did you murder Caesar?
If I had a Mora for every time you've said that man's name. Of course you idolize Caesar, everyone else did. But I was the real genius magician. Me! He was just an amateur who did cheap tricks for gullible children. I was the one who made magic into the fine art it is today. The aristocrats doffed their hats to me!
Uh-huh.
So it was jealousy.
Simple jealousy.
Jealousy. Hatred, more like. I hated Caesar. All he cared about was his magic. He lived and breathed it. He poured everything into his street performances and his stupid tours like it was just a hobby to him, never bothering to think about Mora. What sort of fool devotes their life to the art of deception and never has a Mora to show for it? But the people loved him, didn't they? Oh, how they looked up to him. No one gave me a second look. All I ever heard was, "Oh, your master's amazing, isn't he?"
Just to say, though, the voice actor is doing such a good job with this character.
Amazing. Yeah, so amazing that he was completely broke. Every other apprentice was living it up at their master's expense, but no, not me. I put in all the work, mastered all the skills, and it brought me nothing more than the life I already had.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at this workshop, and I don't know. He doesn't really look broke to me. He just seems to use his money He doesn't seem to use much money for himself, but he doesn't seem broke. Like, okay, I know that that's what they're doing, but I'm looking at this workshop and I'm like, ain't no way he was broke. So you killed him. Why didn't you just leave?
He forbade me from using magic to trick people out of their Mora. There was nothing he hated more than that. And with his reputation in Fontaine, it was too risky for me to go it alone. As long as he was alive, if I dabbled in my own brand of money-making magic, he would expose me, and it would destroy me. I had to kill him. There was no other way. He had to go.
Or you could have just, I don't know, quit.
And this was your only motive?
Yeah, it's weird.
It was reason enough. What other motive would I need?
I don't know, something else.
Well, I was under the impression that there might have been other factors at play. For instance, maybe you were in love with Gemma, but she was engaged to Caesar.
The gasp.
In love with Gemma? Don't be ridiculous.
Guess I was wrong about that then. Next question. Are you the Phantom Weasel?
I am.
Yeah, no hesitation there.
Caesar was so strict with me. He insisted that his way was the right way, that the sole purpose of magic was to bring joy to the world. I never bought into any of that. I was more interested in the practical value of magic. Sure enough, it helped me fill my pockets with all kinds of valuable treasures.
But I heard that the Phantom Weasel stole from the rich and poor alike.
Oh, yeah! Charlotte told us that the weasel would steal whatever people valued, no matter how much it was worth.
That's just how it looked from the outside. What would any thief want with second-rate loot? I've only ever targeted high-value items. I stole cheap things as a way of practicing my craft. It was other people's overactive imaginations that conjured up the preposterous image they then dubbed the Phantom Weasel.
So, that's the story, huh? Well, I hope you're ready to tell it all over again during your trial.
What choice do I have? You're a pack of wolves, and you've got me between your jaws. You've seen what's here, and my last-ditch effort to stop it getting out has failed. What else can I do? So be it. I've enjoyed power and wealth for the last 10 years, the likes of which Caesar could never give me. I wouldn't choose for things to end this way, but I regret nothing.
Bam, not a hint of remorse.
Very well. In that case, I'll contact the guards.
Yeah.
Traveler, Paimon, keep an eye on Lorenzo for me. I'll meet you just outside the workshop when I'm back.
Huh. Well, hey, I respect the, self-awareness and the willingness to give up. I respect that. Anything else, sir?
At least I can finally stop looking over my shoulder now.
Good luck in prison. Well, I guess we leave the domain.
Lyney has told me the whole story.
His name is Bruno.
Lorenzo, do you confess to the murder of Caesar and to framing him for the Phantom Weasel's crimes?
Yes. Just a nod.
Look who's finally developed a conscience. What kind of disciple murders their own master? I hope it was worth it, because there'll be hell to pay.
That was so personal. That felt so personal.
Looks like it's all over. What should we do next, Lyney? Should we start preparing for your show?
Let me think. Let's rendezvous with Lynette and Gemma first. With Lorenzo in custody, Gemma will no longer have to fear for her safety.
Good point. We should go tell Gemma the good news right away. It'll give her some peace of mind for sure.
It's up here. Here's an interesting question. Excel asks, if you had $1 million, what would you do with it? Quite a few things, actually. First of all, pay off all my student debt. That's number one. Buy my family a new house. Both here in the States and in the country they come from. Probably help my brother through college as well.
I wonder what my dear sister Lynette is doing right now.
Probably buy
Missing me
like
to
a
death,
couple
I'm
like
sure.
new, like to date like electronics here and there. Probably a couple things for myself. Ooh, a trip, like a trip to Europe. Actually, a lot of things. I would do a lot of things. I would do mostly for my family, but yeah, no, I would do quite a lot with $1 million, but mostly stuff that I want to last a very long time. So like, you know, stuff like house and like pay off debts and stuff like that. I don't know if that's a boring response, but like that is like genuinely the first thing I would do with $1 million is pay off all my student debt and then like not exactly buy like a house, but like because in the country that my family's from, we already have like a piece of land that we own. Like my whole family has a piece of land that they own. But I would commission like a new house to be built on top of it, like a better house than the one that they already have. Because over there you can just do that. You can just build a house. Or at least, what am I doing? It's like here. Or at least like pay people to build a house. Ah, fix the plumbing. That too. I don't know if this sounds all like boring responses. It's just like, can you tell that I am slowly becoming an adult yet? Also a couple things for myself, like a couple like electronic wise, probably like a new TV and like probably a new like drawing tablet and I don't know, a PlayStation.
You were so quick. I've only just finished my 3rd dessert.
That was quick? Oh, that felt like a while. Either we're fast or she's a slow eater.
Your 3rd? Lynette, come on, we've talked about this. Everything in moderation. You're not gonna have any room left for dinner now.
Aww. Bro, what if Lyney is the one who makes the dinner? He gets sad if people don't eat the dinner that he makes. That's my headcanon now. Axel says, yeah, if I had $1 million, I would give it to the poor. That's a that's a very sweet response. Yeah, I'd probably... Yeah, I think, like, after I would, like, spend it on all the stuff that... Because $1 million is a lot. I think, like, after I would spend it on all the stuff that I would need, or, like, I would want, yeah, I guess I would donate some to charity as well. I'm ashamed to admit that never really comes to mind, but, like... Yeah. I mean, I guess it's mostly because, like, my first thought is, like, helping out my family. But helping out other people is good, too. It's very good.
It's fine. I'll shift to exercise mode and jog off the excess sugar.
Okay, sure, alright. Lynette is so weird.
That's besides the point. Well, it's done now. But try to eat a more balanced diet in the future.
So cute. I love that Lyney is... That's adorable. He's like the caretaker.
Point taken.
Did everything go okay?
Of course! Lorenzo was no match for us. The guards are taking him into custody as we speak.
Gosh, that's amazing. I'm sorry, I still didn't know if I could trust you, but now it seems I can. I had my suspicions about Lorenzo, but
Let me tell you, ever since Genshin has been putting tiers on characters, like, it just hits different.
It's okay, we understand. He did threaten you, Paimon would find it hard to trust strangers in your position too.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
But you don't need to be scared anymore. Everything's gonna be okay.
Sorry. Sorry. My emotions are all over the place right now. I've been waiting for this day to come for so long. I always wanted to report Lorenzo. He took all of Caesar's property, which I found suspicious, but I had people watching me all the time, so I couldn't risk looking into it. I was so afraid. I was scared he'd do something terrible to me, and then no one would be left to visit Caesar's grave. So I never had the courage to speak out. Thank you all. Truly. Thank you so much.
At Lyney's suggestion, everyone goes to the cemetery to announce Lorenzo's arrest and hold a memorial for Caesar.
Thank you all for clearing Caesar's name. I never would have guessed that Lorenzo was the real Phantom Weasel. He never showed any signs that there were problems between him and Caesar in public. From the outside, it looked like they got along great.
They never do.
And to think that lowlife's been living life to the fullest all this time, while Caesar's name was getting dragged through the mud. It's a travesty. At least his soul can finally rest in peace now, thanks to your efforts.
If only I'd realized before it was too late.
Don't blame yourself, Gemma. This isn't your fault.
Yeah, you still have the rest of your life to live. Caesar wouldn't want to see you spending it feeling guilty.
That's true. That's true.
Cheer up, Gemma. My brother's doing a magic show at the Opera House tomorrow evening. Would you like to come along? It might raise your spirits. This show will be a special one. We're holding it in Caesar's honor.
In Caesar's honor? Really? Oh, thank you. I'll be there.
I mean, they were already planning it for a while anyway, but yeah, it's cute, it's cute.
Great. We'll see you tomorrow evening. Traveler, Paimon, don't be late.
I love that he doesn't even ask us if we want to go. He's just under the assumption that we'll come.
Don't worry, we'll be there. No way are we gonna miss out on a free magic show.
Oh, yo, it's free? And of course we're going.
Wait,
yeah.
Paimon feels like we're forgetting something.
Are we?
Oh yeah, Caesar's diary! We never found out if the two kids Caesar taught magic to were Lyney and Lynette or not. Lyney changed the topic back in the workshop, so we didn't get a chance to bring it up. Oh well. Guess we'll just have to ask Lyney tomorrow evening.
Guess so. What's with this flute music? Funky little flute going on. I'm kind of listening to it. It's pretty cute. Wow. That's so cute. Alright, where's the teleporter? Axel asks, what do you think of Tim Burton's art style? So, I'm not gonna lie, the only Tim Burton movies that I've ever seen... I'm gonna have to wait till night. The only Tim Burton movies I've ever seen are Nightmare Before Christmas, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory... No, Coraline is not. Coraline a Tim Burton movie? I don't think it is. Hold up, no, let me look that up. I actually don't know if it is. Is Coraline a Tim Burton movie? Let me look that up. No, it does not. Okay. I assumed that it was. Okay. So yeah, the only ones I've seen is The Nightmare Before Christmas and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But if I'm thinking about it, like, just by the Nightmare Before Christmas, I love it, honestly. I think it's like really cool and really unique, and it's like kind of gothic, but like also like a little goofy at the same time. So I think it's a very nice art style. I think in Charlie and the Chocolate, because Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is live action, personally, I don't think it works as well, simply because you have to like really like it's like it's a bit harder to believe that like I don't know, like the houses look the way they do as opposed to an animation where you're just like, yeah, that's just the art style. But I could say, but it's not bad. It's definitely not a bad thing. But I'd say
So
that his
long as the
style is
audience thinks that
definitely
seeing is
more,
believing, there's
of
no
an
limit to
animation
the number
thing.
of tricks I can pull off.
But I think it's a very cool and unique art style. So I think it's cool. I need to watch Corpse Bride. I've never seen Corpse Bride before. I need to watch it one day. Alright, is it at the... Where's the... Man, where's the teleporter? Not the teleporter, where's the... Oh, it's the next evening. Ah, okay. Not the teleporter, the navigator. I can't speak. I can't speak at all. Go like here. Alright, Opera House. I need to see this little performance that they're gonna have. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like one of those like animated cutscenes. We haven't had that yet, and I know one will appear because they put it on their YouTube channel, and I refused to watch it specifically for this story quest. I didn't want any spoilers. Because it's usually like at the very, very end that we have like either cinematic cutscenes or like animated cutscenes. Basically when like stuff gets real is usually like at the very end. Ooh, the curtain. Wait, has the curtain always been down? Or am I just delusional? Or maybe the curtain's always been down. Charlotte's there.
Paimon's excited to see another of Lyney's magic shows! Wait. Lynette, shouldn't you be on stage by now?
So, Paimon, just quiet down. You're in a theater.
Not this time.
Theater etiquette.
My brother's going solo today. So, I'll be watching with you.
Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's ready because the show is about to begin.
Yes.
The great magician Lyney has prepared a spectacular show for us all tonight, concluding with an all-new grand finale that no audience has ever seen before.
Oh my god, is he going to attempt the same trick that Caesar did? Oh my god, if he does.
Wow! A new trick!
Oh my god, if he does.
Thank you all so much for coming.
Like,
now, prepare to join me on a journey through the mystical and miraculous.
If he does that... Oh my god, if he does that, I won't, like... That is sweet, but that's also really stupid if he does. Oh, hold on for a second. Sorry. Okay. We're not gonna see it.
Exciting stuff, isn't it?
And we don't even see it, okay.
Yes, it's just... It reminds me of him.
No wonder. Caesar was a famous magician too. So, how did you two first meet, Gemma?
Well, I was out on the street once, and I saw him performing for little children. Children love magic, because they're willing to believe in things that can't be rationally explained. Caesar had this amazing way of bringing them into a dreamlike world. And somehow, I felt drawn to him too. So I went up and asked him to do a trick for me.
Aw, that sounds so romantic. What trick did he do?
It was with a flower.
Aww.
He took it in his hand, snapped his fingers, and it magically appeared on my head.
Was it a rainbow rose?
I was so happy that day. No one had ever given me a flower before that.
Oh, that's so cute! Actually, now that you mention it,
Yep.
Lyney's done that one before.
Lyney's done it before.
Is that right? Then I suppose he's a romantic at heart, just like Caesar.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
So
That's so
let's
cute.
treasure
Oh my
the
God.
time we have with him.
Nah, man, honestly, like, Lyney is like the only Genshin character that I'm just like, oh my god, him having a crush on us is like the cutest thing ever.
After all, you never know when the people dearest to you might be gone.
Don't be sad. The killer has been caught.
That's right. It's all over now. Paimon doesn't really know how to comfort you, but at the very least, no one's gonna be intimidating you from now on. You can breathe easy at last, right?
Yeah, the subtitles say at least, but okay.
Right. Yes, you can breathe easy now, Phantom Weasel.
Okay.
See? Even Lynette says... Wait, what? The Phantom Weasel? Lorenzo escaped? Where is he?
What do you mean, Phantom Weasel?
What?
As Lyney once said, a performer's job is to commit fully to their role and put on a flawless performance for their audience.
Uh-huh.
But once the bag of tricks is empty and the curtain falls, it's time to end the show. The spotlight is no place for someone with no more cards up their sleeve. It's been 10 years, Gemma. Aren't you tired of the Grieving Widow Act? I think it's time to put an end to it.
Okay, what the heck? Excuse me? What?
What are you talking about? Paimon doesn't like this riddle. Traveler, Paimon doesn't like where this is going. Come on, say something!
Oh crap, have we figured it out too?
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all enjoying the performance so far. There will now be a brief intermission, after which Lyney will perform the most electrifying act of tonight's show, the one we've all been waiting for. The final performance will take place outside of the Opera House, so
Okay.
please make your way outside in
Oh
a
my god,
calm
is he
and
going to do
orderly
that damn
fashion.
magic trick? No, it's sweet. If they are doing it, it's sweet, but it's also really stupid.
The Phantom Weasel never did like public places, did they? Don't worry, this place will be quiet soon. Let's talk somewhere else for now.
Dude, Lynette can be terrifying if she wants to be. Where is this quiet place? Seems to still be at the opera. Axel says, what are your thoughts on deconstruction in stories? Now see, okay, here's the funny thing. I don't fully understand the definition of deconstruction. Okay, like, I know that it's pulling apart, like, a genre or a theme or, like, a specific thing in storytelling and basically analyzing every key aspect of it. Like I know what it is, but I kind of struggle to, like, fully get it. But I do know that the anime Madoka Magica is one of the biggest examples of a deconstruction. And at least when I watched it, I loved that show. I thought that show was so fascinating and really amazing. And so I think that, like, when I think deconstruction, it's more like like an analysis of, or a story like really trying to like analyze a specific thing of storytelling. And if
I wonder what my
that
dear
is
sister
what
Lynette
deconstruction
doing
is,
right
which
now.
is what I'm going to think
Missing
of
me
it
to death,
as,
I'm sure.
I find it incredibly fascinating. Now, I don't think that it's something that people should use all the time, because I do think that, like, you know, sometimes stories can just stay stories, you know, sometimes tropes can just stay tropes, you know, but they work for a reason, in my opinion. But I do believe that there are those times where, like, picking apart a theme or a thing in storytelling could, like, really enhance things. Zax23 says, yo, your new Lorax animatic looks great. Thank you, thank you. I loved working on it, so I'm glad people like it. Axel says, I think a deconstruction is how a trope would work in real life. That's the case, then yeah, I basically have the same opinion. Like, I love it when people do that. I just don't want it to be super... What is this thing? It's here. Whoa, what is this place?
Honestly,
This is the opera. What? It's just outside. Weird. Or it's just right. Okay, that's weird. Alright, fine. Whoopsie, that was a mistake. Like, I think that when it's done right, it can be amazing and serve for, like, great storytelling. However, I do wish it doesn't become, well, I mean, I guess it already has, but I just wish it wasn't something that was used so often, you know what I mean? Like, I do think that, you know, sometimes a story can just be a story, you know? A story can just be a story, and a trope can just be a trope. And I think that there is a beauty in that, you know? It's beauty in simplicity. And, you know, sometimes I wish, because, like, I think that deconstructions are all the more powerful when they're not rare, but when they're used in moderation, you know? Kind of like breaking the fourth wall in storytelling, you know? Or like characters being self-aware. Like, it can work and it can be absolutely hilarious, or it can be very, very fascinating, but I think it's like ever more stronger when it isn't used so much. You know, when it kind of comes as a surprise. Okay, so they're here. Hello. Oh,
Dear
Lynette
me,
is so mad.
This is awkward, isn't it? And unfortunately, I'm all out of gadgets, so I'm afraid I can't do any tricks to liven up the mood.
Okay.
This is a big mistake for a magician to make, but thankfully, I do have a backup plan. Now, who wants to hear a story?
Okay. Inspector Who says, oh, made it just in time. I believe you made it at, I don't know if the tail end, but, getting near the end. Axel says, I kind of made my OC sort of a deconstruction of kid heroes. That is really cool. That is a genre, not genre, but that is a type of deconstruction that I find so fascinating. And you can do, like, so much with that. But yeah, to catch up on what's going on, we investigated a little bit of a murder mystery, and we're also hunting down this thief who supposedly died, but the person who actually died was framed, and apparently the person who died's fiance, who is this lady, was apparently the thief the whole time.
Lyney, don't we have more important things to address right now?
Yeah. He's trying.
Lynette accused Gemma of being the real Phantom Weasel a moment ago. Oh, what the heck's going on?
All in good time. Magicians are good at guessing what people are thinking. I know the questions you want to ask. And as it happens, the story I'm about to tell might answer a few of them.
Okay. Oh, Inspector Who says, I love this quest. Well, I guess I recapped it for nothing. Well, it's gonna. Well, I guess it catch you guys up a little bit, remind you stuff. Yeah, no. So far, I'm loving this quest.
Really? Well then, let's hear it! Paimon's dying of curiosity here!
Let's go back to the very beginning. A decade ago, when the Phantom Weasel was terrorizing the court of Fontaine. She never missed a target, never left a trace, and no treasure was safe from her thieving hands. But as her infamy grew, so did the readiness of the police, and her opportunities to act became ever fewer. Every day, she ran the risk of being exposed for who she was.
First of all, that fit. Mwah. Mwah. That was gorgeous. Second of all, this police mecha has an entire minigun, on his forearm. Ooh, not that police aren't dangerous, but that's terrifying.
Of course, she could not simply take this lying down, and before long, she found her ticket to freedom. She would create a scapegoat, a false weasel to close the chapter on her behalf.
Okay.
After weighing her options, she set her sights on a renowned magician, Caesar. After all, magic and theft shared enough similarities for people to buy the story when the truth came out.
Okay.
So then what?
Being the master deceiver she was, the weasel easily earned Caesar's trust. Now all that remained was to frame him for her countless crimes.
Okay. Okay. First of all, that's a drippy ass suit. That's number one. Like, I know it's like an NPC suit, but it's drippy. I love it. Both of their outfits are drippy. I'm in love with their outfits. Inspector Who says, also, yeah, she kinda bad though.
But as she was considering how to make her move, she noticed Caesar's aggrieved pupil, and a new thought entered her mind. Maybe I don't need to get my hands dirty after all.
Oh my god.
At her encouragement, Lorenzo tampered with Caesar's magic box, causing him to fall to his death.
Oh my god.
Afterwards, Lorenzo seized his master's property, and the weasel set about tarnishing Caesar's reputation. Two co-conspirators committed the perfect crime.
Dude, that's evil.
I've gotta hand it to you. You're both exceptional storytellers. It's enough to make even me wonder whether there was really another mastermind behind all this, pulling the strings. But I just have one question. You seem to think that I am the villain in this tale. What's brought this on, Lyney? Is it something that Lorenzo said?
Don't worry, Lorenzo said nothing at all. But I never believed that he was the weasel, and in fact, my investigation only made me more certain of that. He was too forthcoming with his confession, as if there was something else he was trying to hide.
Ah, okay. Because I did notice that his confession was like, I was like, damn, okay, just not even gonna fight it, alright?
How disappointing. So you'd sooner trust Lorenzo than me? Even without a shred of evidence?
A magician is an expert at playing the audience to get the result they want. And I have no doubt that you, Gemma, are equally talented in this regard. With a little help from Lorenzo, you put on a very convincing performance. The lovesick fiancé, whose devotion to her betrothed is unshakable, even under threats of violence. Caesar was maligned and hated by all for 10 years, but you? Everyone sympathized with your plight. Who would suspect for 1 second that the lovely young lady always seen weeping in front of Caesar's grave was actually the mastermind behind his demise? No, not that poor lady. Perish the thought.
Dang.
Wait, so you mean the whole intimidation thing was just a hoax? Gemma and Lorenzo were both in on it? But why would Lorenzo agree to that? And why didn't he sell her out even at the end instead of admitting to being the weasel himself?
What, money?
Yes, why indeed? Maybe Gemma herself could enlighten us on that question.
Well, Lyney, if you're so confident in your version of events, then I think the answer should be obvious. Having killed Caesar with his own hands, Lorenzo was plagued by overwhelming guilt. Revealing the Phantom Weasel's true identity would serve no purpose. But if the Weasel remained free, then she could take care of Lorenzo's loved ones.
An excellent answer, though sadly a little dull.
Is that right? Well, don't let me bore you. If you'd care to change the topic to something more interesting, I'd be much obliged.
As a matter of fact, there's one thing I'd really like to understand. Why would the real Weasel have targeted things that only have value to other people? Could you shed any light on that?
To hurt their feelings.
Of course.
Seeing them sad makes me
After
happy.
all, we're just telling stories here, aren't we? If I had to guess, I would say that the real Weasel must have had a terrible childhood.
Makes sense.
Left to fend for herself after her parents died young. Betrayed, scorned, beaten.
Some nasty children. These bullies.
She'd scrounge waste paper from garbage bins to draw on, using twigs and dirt for lack of ink and pen. She'd sew ugly rag dolls from whatever scrap material she could get her hands on. This was her only source of happiness in life. But it was all she needed, and she was content. Until the world decided that even this was too good for her. Once again, she was betrayed. And this time, everything was taken from her. She felt like life was a miry pit that dragged her further down the more she struggled to escape. At that tender age, she should have been happy. Instead, she stood in the shadows and watched with envy as all good things in the world passed her by. This was a fate too cruel for anyone to bear. Her pain became a breeding ground for dark thoughts. Thoughts which festered and grew into a twisted solution to her troubles. I detest the happiness of others, in all its forms alike.
Oh my god, I was right. I was joking. I was joking when I said, like, seeing people in pain makes me happy. Or, like, more accurately, seeing people sad makes me feel better.
I will rob them of everything they hold to be good and true. And it will fill the void in my soul.
Yeah.
That's some pretty heavy stuff.
Now it all makes sense. Does this story satisfy you, Lyney?
Yes, it is quite to my tastes. Thank you for helping to clear up my confusion.
So, what was with the warning letter?
Huh. That's right! What drove you to write that letter, Gemma? Because without that, none of this would have ever come to light!
Whoops.
She didn't write the letter.
After 10 long years, I'd hoped that the Phantom Weasel would be consigned to the history books by now. But it seems like someone still wasn't ready to let her finally be at peace. Lyney? Or should I call you the Phantom Copycat now? You were the one who posted that letter outside the Opera House.
What?
But why?
Okay.
Very sharp, Phantom Weasel. Still as shrewd as ever.
Was this all a publicity stunt for the people? Oh my god. Inspector Who says, I don't blame Caesar, not Lorenzo. Yeah, I did see that comment and I was like, oh, that's a little weird. A little bit interesting. But yeah, no, Caesar, poor guy. Ah, man, let me tell you, when Lyney was explaining how he died, that was terrifying. That was just it's like your muscle memory goes to push the button and it's not there and you panic. And then the floor beneath you disappears and you fall to your death. That is ugh. Did not like that. Crazy how they made her look more sinister after a while of her looking pitiful. It's called actors.
Well, no need for me to be coy about it. Our goal was to clear Caesar's name. The most straightforward way to change the public's impression of Caesar was to force the Weasel to show themselves.
That's it? You had no other agenda?
Of course we did. We made it quite clear in the letter, I believe. I shall take from you that which you hold most dear, just as you did to me 10 years ago.
Oh. Oh. Ooh, that's cool. That's cool.
10 years ago? You mean Caesar's death? You met him?
I'm pretty sure we knew that. Like what I mean is,
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
You were those two obnoxious kids. It's been so
Obnoxious.
long, and you're all grown up now. I didn't recognize you.
No, what I mean is that, like, I'm pretty sure while we were reading Caesar's diary, it mentioned that Gemma, like, knew about these kids.
He taught you magic back then, didn't he? For what, 10 days or something? And you went to all this trouble. Why? Because you feel like you still owe him something?
Inspector Who says, yeah, Fontaine ain't playing. Death is like every Tuesday here. Yeah, that's what I've noticed. I noticed. Like, man, I thought Sumeru had a lot of messed up stuff going on, and it did, and it definitely did, but, like, there's a lot of death in Fontaine. People are just dying left and right.
We remember all our debts, however great or small. 10 years ago, Caesar's reputation was torn to shreds, and his legacy was thrown out. 10 years on, and no one cares what the truth is anymore. But we did not forget, and so we came to find you.
And?
Ooh, revenge.
What exactly did you take from me? I'm still standing, as you can see. Lorenzo has admitted to everything. I'm free.
Free? Do you really think so?
You fool! You didn't know that I had a secret recorder in my hat, and I'm going to turn it into the guards, because you confessed to everything.
Caesar once told me that even though the world is filled with lies and falsehoods, we must find our own truth. I think that applies to you too. Truth can take many forms. Prized possessions with nostalgic value, fervent hopes and dreams, and irreplaceable people. Life took many things from you, and those wounds never healed. When they ached unbearably in the dead of night, stealing became your way of numbing the pain.
And also probably to survive. But yeah.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that for the last
Sadistic as
10
well.
years, you've been living a rather uneventful life. Perhaps that's because you found something other than a life of crime to fill the hole?
Mm-hmm.
Back to Lorenzo for a second. He murdered his own master, played along with your act, and took pains to make sure any suspicion would be directed towards him. But what did he have to gain from all that? He knew who you were and the things you'd done, and despite that, he was willing to give everything up for your sake. He's the reason that you haven't felt the compulsion to steal in all these years.
Okay. Were they, like, secretly dating in the background?
You're more than just accomplices in murder. You're the only real friends each other has.
That too, that makes sense as
So
well.
I think you know, deep down, that he is the only truth you have in your life. But that truth is gone now. And I guarantee you, you'll never see it again.
Congratulations on your freedom, Gemma.
Damn.
Your freedom will cost you dearly. From now on, you'll be all alone in a world full of lies and falsehoods. I do hope you'll be able to bear it. You've still got a long life ahead of you after all.
Gather round, one and all. The time has now come for the amazing Lyney to perform his final act in tonight's show. I'm sure you're all wondering what he has planned for the grand finale. Well, wonder no
Oh my
more,
god, it
for
is.
the
It
answer
is. It is.
a death-defying
I mean, it was
high-altitude
obvious,
escape.
but look, I get what you're trying to do, Lyney. I get what you're trying to do, and thematically and narratively, it's very, very cute and sweet. I love it. I love what it is symbolically, narratively, thematically. But realistically, that's dumb. That is when it is a trick that no magician has ever tried doing, specifically because it is incredibly dangerous, and the person who taught you magic literally died from this trick because he had one little oopsie, a planted oopsie, but still an oopsie nonetheless. We shouldn't do it. Inspector Who says, seeing that tiny bit of Fatui and Lyney and Lynette here. Oh yeah, definitely.
A high-altitude escape?
10 years ago, the trick that Caesar died attempting.
I'm sure you all remember the magician Caesar. This was the very trick that led to his fatal fall, after which he was dubbed the Phantom Weasel.
You said that like if it was a cool thing. His fatal fall.
So we have now learned that Caesar was wrongly accused, and that the real Weasel has now confessed to their crimes.
Guess that's my cue to leave. Whew. I've been practicing this one for ages now, but I'm still a little nervous. Traveler, Paimon, I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. There may be a lot of people watching tonight, but you alone are my true witnesses.
Yeah.
Lyney, wait.
Oh, he's so mad. He's so mad. Look at that little mad face. He's so cute when he's mad. Oh my god.
You two hid a lot from Caesar. He went to his grave without ever knowing your secrets. So what about now? Are you an open book? Or are you still the same as ever?
Oh my god. Inspector Who says, hey kids, remember that someone died doing this trick? Want to see it again? No, literally, that's me right now. I'm just like, again, like I get it. I get what narratively this is really good, but I'm like, realistically, this is a stupid move.
You don't have to tell lies to end up isolated and alone. One day, you'll end up exactly where I am today. Maybe then you'll finally understand.
You're wrong. I'm nothing like you.
So, what are we, doing now?
I guess we're watching the performance.
Like Lyney said, when you're ready, let's head outside and watch the show.
But what about Gemma?
She'll figure out what's best for her soon enough. Oh, and if you'd like to see Lyney after the show, you know where he'll be. The usual haunt.
All right. Well, let's go and watch Lyney's finale then. This trick's a pretty dangerous one, but he should be able to pull it off, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, obviously he will. It's just like dumb. What does Gemma have to say?
What is my truth? Sometimes I think I'm like a gambling addict. All I care about is winning, and it doesn't matter what's at stake. By the time I come to my senses, I'm left with nothing. Oh, if I had my time again.
Magicians are not like thieves. Thieves only tear things apart. But good-hearted magicians, they put things back together.
Well, so the part where Gemma says that if you keep hiding your secrets, you might end up like me one day. And oh wait, it's outside. And Lyney says, like, oh, I'm nothing like you. But he actually kind of is. He's actually quite a lot like her. I mean, down to them being street children when they were young. Down to that. Like, I'm not saying that he's just as bad as Gemma, although we don't know about that. Or not yet, anyway. But they do have similarities. I think I missed this comment, but it says, gotta say, I'm impressed you played Widow for 10 years. Seems like a lot more work. Oh yeah. Can't imagine. Alright, let's see this stupid magic trick that you're doing. You're all the way in the roof. Damn.
Magic should be
Oh my God, so
mysterious, surprising, and defy logic. Magic is hard work. Every single movement has to be practiced thousands of times.
Oh, he's so cute.
It's alright. We're used to that.
We're sorry. You've taught us so much, but we can't tell you the whole truth.
It's okay. Do you still remember what I told you? This world is full of lies and falsehoods. I only hope that one day you can find your own truth.
Oh, that's so cute.
What about you? Have you found your truth?
Magic is my truth. I want to perform a magic trick so great that people will always think of me when they talk about it. For a magician, what greater honor could there be?
This is so cute. Aww.
Behold! Lyney is sealed inside the box. Will he manage to escape?
Oh my God, and it's like animated in this art style too.
10 years ago, Caesar attempted this very trick, and it was at this precise moment that...
Watch out!
Oh my God. This is so cool.
Mysterious. Surprising. And logic-defying. Isn't that right? This honor belongs to you, Caesar. I'm just sorry it's a little late.
That was gorgeous.
Did you see that? One minute he was falling, and the next, he turned into flowers.
That was so pretty.
How could he possibly have done that?
How mysterious. I didn't blink once. He just vanished right in front of my eyes.
What a heart-stopping magic show! This was really worth the trip. Caesar's name has finally been cleared, and Fontaine's new star magician Lyney has fulfilled a wish on his behalf. Oh, I couldn't ask for a better grand finale. It will make a great headline for the Steambird tomorrow, even if I do say so myself.
Looks like everyone really loved Lyney's grand finale.
That was amazing. Even though they don't know the full story.
Paimon doesn't see Lyney anywhere. Where'd he go? Oh, Lynette said he'd be waiting for us at the usual hunt. But, where is that?
The cemetery?
Oh, you mean the one where Caesar's buried? Yeah, that's probably it. This whole magic show kinda seemed like Lyney's way of saying goodbye to Caesar.
Oh, yeah.
So it makes sense that that's where he'd be afterward. Alright, let's go look for him there.
That was so... Like I said, narratively, thematically, just everything doing that performance is so sweet and so beautiful. It's just realistically, it's really stupid. Like, even realistically, if he survived, I'd probably, like, slap him in the face and be like, never do that ever again. Oh man, that was so pretty. And the art style was the same as the art style from the trial. Hands down, one of my favorite cinematic cutscenes. I'm on the high right now, I'll admit though. I'm on the excitement train. But that was gorgeous. That was gorgeous. In the pretty art style that I fall in love with. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And seeing them as like little kids is so cute. Seeing them as little baby kids, little babies. Which also made me realize, since they're already in the care of Arlecchino by the time Caesar taught them. So, and they're clearly like kids. So that means the whole thing that happened with the aristocrat before they met Arlecchino happened when they were like, well, kids, which is terrible. Hey man, you doing all right?
Lyney! There you are. Are you alright? Paimon was scared to death when the chain broke. Paimon was sure something had gone horribly wrong.
Magic is a performance art. A magician has to get creative to keep the audience on tenterhooks. That's our job. So I tweaked Caesar's original setup a little to keep it fresh.
By giving everyone a heart attack.
I was honestly a little nervous during the live performance. The thought of falling, suddenly feeling weightless, seeing the sky and the ground spinning and spinning. Sometimes, I can't help but wonder what Caesar thought in those final moments.
It's the most terrifying few seconds of your life.
Did he regret taking Gemma and Lorenzo on? Or did he believe that it was his own slip-up right until the end?
Yeah, that's heavy. That's heavy.
You know, Paimon's been wanting to ask you about something ever since we were in Caesar's workshop. You learned magic from Caesar once, didn't you? When was that?
After I joined the House of the Hearth. To be honest, Lynette and I had an agenda when we approached him.
An agenda?
I told you about my past before, remember? As a young boy, I survived by secretly learning magic from street performers. I'd watch their tricks and try to figure out how they were done. But I quickly realized that observation alone could only get me so far. What I saw was the polished final performance, but the rigorous training they put in behind the scenes remained invisible to me. I needed to learn how to improve my sleight of hand, hone my misdirection skills, and make niftier props. We were gifted enough that we'd made some progress by ourselves, but without proper guidance from a professional magician, we quickly plateaued.
So that's why you sought Caesar out?
Yes, we figured there was no harm in asking, but it took us by surprise that he was so willing to teach us. In all, we only spent 10 short days together, but he was very good to us. By contrast, we hid so many things from him. For instance, when he asked why I wanted to learn magic, I answered, "It's my passion." But in truth, there was already a lot more to the story by then. After being taken in by an aristocrat for our magic talent, then betrayed soon after, this was no longer about me doing what I loved. What amazed me was how the lie escaped my lips even as I was hesitating over whether to tell him the truth. Trust is a beautiful thing. Sadly, I'd forgotten how to trust by then.
I mean, fair.
Lyney.
I don't blame you. It wasn't your fault.
Still worried about the way I feel? You really are a gentle soul, aren't you? But don't worry, I'm used to it now. From the mansions of the elite to the House of the Hearth, lies and selfishness have followed me and Lynette everywhere we go. After Caesar went on tour, we became busy with our missions. The next we heard of him was that he'd fallen to his death, and was now declared to be the Phantom Weasel. That night, I remembered his smile. But as I lay there, I didn't know what to say to him. To keep secrets is to put up walls. The longer you keep them up, the less you let people in. Then, one day, you look around and realize your life is like an empty auditorium after a show, full of seats once occupied by all the people who left. But I guess that's the price we have to pay.
Dude, that's like actually depressing. I don't know if this sounds weird, but it kind of reminds me of this quote from BoJack Horseman, where he says, like, you basically can do all of the things that, to put it simply, temporarily make you feel better. But then you realize that everybody loves you, nobody likes you. It's kind of reminding me of that.
You only realize how much someone really meant to you when you lose them completely. That's why I was so confident this would hurt Gemma. Because I felt it for myself.
Don't be sad. We're in your auditorium, and we're not going anywhere. Well, until we meet our siblings.
Yeah, cheer up, Lyney. We've had to say our fair share of goodbyes during our journey, too. But whatever happens, Paimon always believes in what tomorrow brings. Delicious food, fun toys, and the traveler by my side. Paimon just needs to focus on things like this, and all the unhappy stuff goes right out the window. You know, Traveler, doesn't that kind of make you Paimon's truth?
I guess.
Exactly. It's the same for me and Lynette. We are the truest thing each other has in the world, and nothing can replace that.
They're the only people they have.
Life has taken plenty from us, like it did from Gemma. But at least it left us with each other. That's what gave us the strength to get through the darkest days. That's why the darkness never consumed me, and why it never will. Maybe we live in the shadows too, but we remember every precious ray of light that shines through. All right, time to lighten this conversation up a little. What did you think of the show tonight? Were you happy with it?
It was amazing! Paimon just wishes we hadn't been so distracted with the Gemma situation. We spent most of our time in the Opera House just talking and pretty much missed the entire first half of the show.
Apparently we watched it, but it was all through black screen and white text, so...
Lyney, could you do just one more trick for us?
Aww.
Whoa, that's a bit of a tall order, I'm afraid. The show's just finished, so my sleeves are decidedly card-free right now.
Aw, come on! Surely you can think of something. The Lyney Paimon knows can do anything if he puts his mind to it.
Oh, all right then. I'll give it a go, but only because it's you.
Of course, of course.
Watch closely. I have a flower in my hand.
You liar! There's nothing in your hand! We ain't going along with this!
Huh? My goodness, you're right. But I could have sworn I brought one here with me. Okay, try this. Count down with me. 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Now, have another look around. Maybe the flowers appeared somewhere else.
And it's the rainbow rose!
Really? Let's see.
Dot, dot, dot!
Wow, there it is! Oh, this is a different flower from the last time, right? This one's called, oh yeah, a rainbow rose. But more importantly, Paimon has to know how the trick is done. Please, Lyney, pretty please!
Well, if you want to learn magic, you'll have to start by addressing me as teacher.
Bruh.
Fine. Please, teacher, please!
Since you asked so nicely, I'll share one little tip with you. Namely, the student of magic cannot solely rely on others being prepared to reveal their secrets. You have to observe, think, and find the answers for yourself.
Bruh. That's just a soft no.
Is that it?
Look at the time. We shouldn't linger here too long. Thanks again for coming to see my show. I bid you both good night.
I swear.
I look forward to seeing you again.
All right, fine. See ya. Shall we head back down too? Oh, Paimon can't wait to read The Steambird tomorrow. Paimon bets Lyney and Caesar will be plastered all over it. Let's head to the Steambird's offices tomorrow morning and see what we can find out.
Yeah. He just gives us, aw, how cute. Oh, whoops. Can I see the flower that I have? No, okay. All right, I guess we're going back. He gives us the little rainbow rose. That's so cute. And it's like after we tell him that we're going to be a part of his audience. After he basically tells us that he feels hella alone in this world. That's so sweet. That is so adorable. That is super, super cute. Alright, let's go. It's 8 a.m. Let's wait till 8 a.m. Let's finish this quest. It's getting late. He's just like Venti. Like, Lyney is... I was going to comment on that when Lyney is all like, well, let's go. Well, I'm gonna be off. See ya. I was gonna be like, Lyney is like... He's Venti, but more open. He's more open to us than Venti is. Yeah. Because a lot of people would say that... this soundtrack is so good. So a lot of people would say that Venti is the more, like, obnoxious version of Lyney. And he is. And he is in a way he is, yeah. But... he's currently involved in the What?! Excuse me?! Okay. Okay. Hopefully it's one of those, like, 1-minute quests that I don't have to do. That only takes, like, a couple of minutes to make. Let's hope it is. I really hope it's one of those, like, really, really short quests. Like, those quests that only take, like, a few minutes to complete. Ah, man, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so, like, you know, you'd say that Venti is the more, like, annoying version of Lyney. Kind of is. He's definitely more childish and more obnoxious. But they're both very similar in the sense that they both have, like, a lot of baggage and grief and pain. They both have a lot of baggage and grief and pain within them, and they basically use this, like, happy exterior as a way to mask it. Oh, what do you know, it was. So... is this still part of the quest? Ah, good, it's not. Perfect. It is one of those super short ones. And... I'm sorry, I keep going off track. But they're both very similar in that sense, that they use their, like, goofy, childish nature as a way to mask, like, who they really are, which is actually somebody full of a lot of pain. But Lyney is clearly a lot more open to us than Venti is. And it probably has to do with the fact that, you know, Venti's a god, so feasibly the stakes for him are a lot higher. And a lot more dangerous, probably. But they're a lot like each other. They'd be great friends.
I'm very sorry, Charlotte, but my sister and I are quite busy today. I'm afraid we'll have to decline this interview.
Yay.
Oh, please, Lyney, I'll only take a moment of your time, if you would be so kind.
Huh? What's happening here?
So,
I spent all night writing my piece about the Phantom Weasel, and I was going to go to print this morning. But just as dawn broke, I suddenly received news that Caesar's fiancée, Gemma, had contacted the guards and confessed to having been the real Phantom Weasel all along.
That was quick.
Hmm?
Oh, does he not want her to know?
Too late, bro.
Okay.
That was quick, you say? It sounds like I've got some catching up to do. Please, fill me in.
Whoops.
Aha!
Good job, Paimon.
My instincts did not lead me astray. You do have something to hide. Gemma turning herself in must have something to do with Lyney's performance last night.
Maybe watching my high-altitude escape trick reminded her of a better time with Caesar, and she could no longer ignore the voice of her conscience.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay,
That's definitely what happened.
Wait, no, there must be more to it. If that's all it took for her to have a change of heart, how did it take her 10 whole years?
Well...
I don't know. Emotions are messy like that. Charlotte's journalistic spirit is burning red. We're gonna have to distract her somehow.
Oh, I remember now. You and Gemma were nowhere to be found after the show. What happened between you? Quickfire question. Where did you all go after the show?
Oh, we went to the cemetery and Lyney did a private magic trick just for us.
Oh my god. I mean, she's not lying.
Actually, glad you mentioned it, because that reminds Paimon. Guess what? Lyney started using rainbow roses in his tricks.
Hey.
What? I don't recall ever having received a rainbow rose from you myself. Is this supposed to mean that they're more important to you than your own sister?
No, it's just they're important to me in another way. Yeah. That's why.
No, I just.
What now? Oh, did Paimon say something wrong again?
No, Paimon, you said the perfect thing.
This is getting pretty awkward. What do we do, Traveler?
Seems like this interview wasn't meant to be. Well, never mind. There's always next time. Forgive my persistence, but when there's explosive news waiting to be found, I can't turn away. The news about Gemma has already made waves.
Honestly,
I'll
just
stop
ask
at
Gemma.
nothing to get to the bottom of it all.
Honestly, I don't think, like, Lyney, it makes sense why he wants to hide stuff, because he's always hiding stuff. It's Gemma. I don't think she has anything, like, left to hide.
Apparently, one of the things she said to the guards was that her final wish is to see Lorenzo one last time. Ah, there's clearly a web of complicated relationships there. Can't blame me for being curious.
I mean, honestly, same.
Alright, I guess I'll leave you to continue the rest of your conversation in peace. Bye for now.
Lynette? Paimon didn't mean to...
Don't worry, I wasn't angry. I was just trying to distract her.
I thought it was funny.
Oh, really? Oh, thank goodness. You scared Paimon there.
Phew. You and me both, Paimon. You and me both. At least it did the job, right?
Yeah.
Please, take good care of that rainbow rose. I'd be really upset if you lost it.
Aww. Aw, that's it? Aw, that's it. That's it. I love how Lynette is basically like, yeah, cherish that damn thing. He doesn't give it to people. He doesn't give it to most people. Like, you guys literally had an entire conversation about how he never lets people into his life. But, like, Lynette is, like, basically the only person he really has. So, giving you that rainbow rose, the rainbow rose specifically, he's put a lot of trust in you guys. Well, yeah, no, that's it. That was an absolutely, I'm gonna run around so he doesn't accidentally idle. That was an absolutely adorable story quest. I loved that so much. I'm biased, I love Lyney. He's like already one of my favorite Fontaine characters. So much. It was so cute, and the final cutscene was perfect. Absolutely perfect. One thing that I love about this story quest so much is that it isn't following an NPC. Well, it is, but it's following it in a way that I feel like it should be for the other story quests. So for the people who don't play Genshin, a big issue that the community has with the character story quests is that the majority of them are really just the title character, like the main character, which is the... So for instance, like this is Lyney's story quest, so the quest is about him. Typically with these quests, it really is just us following an NPC with the character. And so because of that, we don't really learn too much about them, and when we do, it's this like, it's a very small amount. It's like barely anything. Or sometimes we learn pretty much nothing at all. We just learn things that we already know, but just in a little bit more detail, which is bad, but it can get frustrating at times. Now see, I don't really mind it if they do it with characters that are not super important to like the plot. So like for example with like, I don't know, Yelan. I don't know. But then there's characters like for instance, the Archons, where it's like, yeah, these kinds of stories don't exactly fit because the Archons are like very important. And it also kind of becomes a whole thing where it's like, this doesn't feel like a story quest about character. It feels more like a... It kind of just feels like you're hanging out with them for a day. And the story quest is more about this random NPC that you don't care about. And I've always said that Venti was the best use of that trope. Because the NPC that we follow around with Venti is specifically made to be Venti's mirror. Like, Stanley is specifically made to basically be everything that Venti is going through, the NPC is going through, right? But it doesn't work for all of the other characters. So I'm going on that tirade for too long. What I'm trying to say here is that I am super happy that we didn't really get that with Lyney's story quest. Not that I would have minded, because it would have been exactly what I expected, but I am so happy that we are following Lyney around, and we did learn about him, especially towards the end, but like, even before that, there were little hints here and there that he does have an emotional connection with Caesar. And we're not really running around following an NPC. Instead, we're investigating an NPC. And although, yeah, we are technically following Gemma and Lorenzo, we're not just tagging along with them. Like, we're finding out the truth and figuring out, well, what's up with them and this murder mystery thing going on. And because of that, we were basically with Lyney the entire time. Like, they didn't overtake the show. It was always with Lyney, and because this character was very important to Lyney personally, it made, like, the final few moments with him and that cutscene just, like, all the more powerful. And it's beautiful. It was beautiful. I loved this this story quest, if you couldn't tell. I love the fact that we're actually spending time with a character and not just tagging along in an NPC adventure. I love that the NPCs that we do get to focus on, it's this whole mystery plot that we're like figuring what's going on with them and this and that. I love like the emotions behind it. I love Lyney's crush on us. But I love his like honesty at the very end, where he basically tells us that like, yeah, no, I don't really trust people, like, at all. And like his admittance, that essential admittance that it's like, even if the rainbow rose wasn't actually a romantic gesture, which I'll see it as because they specifically state it's a romantic gesture, but anyway, even if it wasn't, it shows that he trusts us, and it's adorable. It's so sweet. My one issue with the story quest would definitely be that there wasn't enough tension between us and Lyney. Because the end of Act 1, the last time we see Lyney, presumably before the story quest, we ended it. We ended ourselves. We ended it on a very sour note the last time we met up with him, which is us finding out that he's a Fatui and him telling us his backstory, with the Traveler still being like, I'm sorry, I can't trust you. We ended it on a very, very sour note. And so I was expecting that the story quest would kind of sort of be, you know, we tag along with Lyney with whatever adventure he's going on, and then at the very end we're like, hey, you know what? I don't know if I can forgive you, or maybe we do forgive him. But either way, we mend our relationship a little bit. But we didn't do that. It was almost like that whole interaction didn't really happen, and I felt like that was a little weird. But yeah, no. Other than that, very solid story quest. I love this NPC's design. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that. Full musketeer outfit. But yeah, no, very, very solid story quest. Absolutely loved it. Super, super fun. I love Lyney so much. I love this goofy little goober. And also seeing their young little baby designs was super, super cute. But yeah, no, that's it. I think that's all I have. Well, I'm just gonna go back to the Infinite Void for a hot second. Bring back the thumbnail. And yeah, no, that's I think that's it. I've been streaming for way too long. This story quest was a lot longer than I thought it would be. I thought it would be shorter, but it was not. But yeah, that's it. As always, I hope you guys liked the stream. I had a great time playing this story quest, with as if my whole little mini first impression / review gave off. And yeah, next time I'll be streaming Genshin, probably to complete the Golden Slumber quest. But other than that, once I eventually finish the Golden Slumber quest, I'm just gonna wait till like Fontaine Act 3. But yeah, that's it. Hope you guys liked the stream, and hope you all have a very good night. See ya!